Alrighty, welcome everybody to the seventh episode?
Eighth, actually.
Eighth? Oh my gosh, eighth episode of Ashen Waste. We've been doing this for about 8 weeks now. It's pretty good.
2 months.
We've
Yeah.
survived quite a while. Um, in the previous episode, after successfully beating the cadaver collectors and going their own ways, just to kind of for Lou to speak with a superior in the scout organization, and for Sioda and Meshuda to do a little bit of tracking to figure out where these creatures came from. Uh, they eventually found a little tunnel just the right size for a creature of that size to walk through. And they set up a bit of a camp to watch to see if anything new would come, and in case Lou ever returned to their group, which he eventually did. Lou did make his way back after doing some personal business with his men, and they had a interesting series of conversations which amounted to, I want to do this thing and I need help. And since we're already all here, would you help me? And resulted not through direct correlation, but just through, the sheer chaos of these players. A broken spider leg that resulted in a glowing spider that vanished and was summoned back very angrily. And it was eventually used by Sioda, our druid, as a scout to journey into this tunnel system to see how far it could possibly go. And it traveled for about an hour's worth of time in total, just to get from one end to the other, going at, not dashing, but just going at full speed. It took about an hour, in which time it found these strange occurrences, which Sioda might tell Lou about, and before eventually cutting off at the very end of the tunnel, as the tunnel opened up into this open, pitch black space. And that is where we're actually picking up right now, as the connection with your spider summon has just broken, and you take stock of the time and how much distance it's traveled, and you find yourself mildly surprised. More than mildly surprised, I would say.
What was the spider's speed?
A normal spider can move 20 feet in a round.
So we can
So
do that.
in an hour's time, it moved about 12,000 feet.
So we can do the same amount the spider traveled in half of the time.
A little bit less time, yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. What do you want to do?
I'm still guarding, yes?
Sioda, your connection just cut off when you realized exactly how far the thing had gotten before it was cut off.
Given what I think I figured about it, Ciara was probably going to rest and then tell Lou in the morning because she's stayed up past her time already.
Mm.
So
Yeah, this is all part of the long rest, and like I said, you had sleeping time and watching time alternating with Meshuda, and this was the last hour of your long rest, pretty much.
I thought
As you
I thought she was out for like 2 hours total, like for however long it took for Lou to do his to be on guard or whatever. Because I felt like it all happened really quickly. In that case, yeah, Ciara would crawl out of her little uh lean-to shelter thing, check if Lou's still awake. Lou,
Yeah. What's up?
did you fall asleep?
No?
Okay. Um, so I scattered ahead a little bit with a familiar.
Mm-hmm. Did you tell him I'm sorry about all that?
I did. Um, so I have suggestions moving forward.
Oh,
Um,
Yeah, please go ahead.
Um, you probably want to take your armor off.
Why?
Um, basically, when we were going through that tunnel, there were these creatures on the ceiling with eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But like the whole creature was the eye, from what I saw. And I feel like there's a probability of them being guardians for something. And I feel like it might be better for us to not alert them if we are able to.
DM. Uh, does Lou know anything about beholders?
What makes you think it's a beholder?
I don't know. A fucking big ass eye.
I mean, that's a metagaming. That's a no-no, mister.
I know. Just that's why I'm asking if Lo
Uh,
knows anything about beholders.
you have. I can tell you right now. Yeah, no. You've spent most of your scout career above ground doing jobs, so you're more familiar with monstrosities, some elementals, and beasts. Aberrations and undead, like you just met, and the kind that were found in the Underdark, are kind of unfamiliar to you. You know the most popular ones, which are called Umber Hulks, which are massive creatures that like to dig tunnels everywhere. That's kind of it. Because you never were part of those Underdark missions. You were usually stuck to transport and expeditions on the surface.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Uh, I guess so, but if we come into contact with something, it's gonna make me a lot less effective as the frontline fighter. So
If
yeah, go ahead.
um yeah, no, if you don't want to, then that's fine. I'm not gonna make you do it. It's just I might get a little bit of a head start in that case. No offense, I wouldn't want to lock adjacent to you. That's okay. Um,
Actually, I recommend that I be the first. You be a little back. So if
if
anything comes to attack us, I be the first one to engage it.
you would trigger it, and I would. So if you did trigger something, then I would be able to flank anything because it would be facing you,
Yeah,
assuming I don't make a mistake.
that's the plan. You okay with
And
that?
also from what I saw of it, of that creature, I didn't see any mouth parts. I don't know if it's just there to watch or if it would actually attack. So that's all I saw that. I've never seen anything like that before. I've never heard of anything like that before. Um, I did make
Considering,
markers on the ground so that we're not going to forget that they're there, hopefully. It was on
hopefully,
the roof of the ceiling.
considering what came out of that hole, I say we consider everything and anyone that we come into the contact hostile until they prove us wrong. So be on your guard.
Well,
Okay.
another thing is the last thing I saw through
Mm-hmm.
my spider before that spell faded was I heard water.
Water. Uh,
So be
hmm.
prepared for water.
Okay. Do you have any spells that control water?
I certainly am able to do that.
Okay then. Then that can come in handy. Anything else?
And that was all of it. We said Mashuda was going to stay out here overnight, right?
Yeah, I just have to tell him about the whole team thing and tell him to stand guard. Then we can go. Okay. I will walk. I will stand up and tell me, Sioda, I will be back in like 5-10 minutes. I will see you at the entrance of the cave. Is that okay?
Minutes. If you're not back, I'll start out.
But
If you're not back in 10 minutes, I'll head out.
okay. Lou stand up. Lou goes down to where Meshuda is, with his steed Wolf walking beside him. I will inform Meshuda of our plan. I will tell.
Ashida is asleep.
I wake him up because it's her guard duty now, and
Yes.
I will inform him about the plan that me and Siola are going into the cave, and I will also inform him about the whole uh, becoming a team of scouts thing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
and after I am done with that, I will go to the entrance of the cave, join Sioda, and I guess it's less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah. After that, I will go about 5 or 10 feet ahead of Sioda on my steed. So I have a travel speed of 40 now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right. And so you begin the trek.
Um, so with Siota's dark vision of 120, she's keeping an eye out on the floor for the webs that we left
Mm-hmm.
on the floor. And the second she sees that come into her range,
Yes.
she's stopping Lou, which I think he said he was 20 feet ahead of her. So
Roughly
yeah.
10.
10 feet. So yeah, easily you just kind of like maybe snap your fingers or just whisper his name. You hear it as she points to the ground, and she points to the ground very far ahead, and you can't quite see it because your dark vision
I have 60
isn't as
feet.
pronounced as hers. Yeah, it's not as pronounced, but you do keep an eye on the ground, and you begin to slowly make your way until you're just within 60 feet of what you can now see is a fairly large web. It's not intricate, but it's there, like a layer of silk, spider silk, laid across the ground, easy enough to spot, even with your just dark vision.
What is this? I take it this is where you marked one of those creatures?
Sieta puts her finger to her lips and casts Pass Without Trace on her and
Great. Go ahead and roll it, because I think it technically makes you undetectable by sound as well. Yep. Shadows and silence, masking you and companions. Each creature has a plus 10 bonus to stealth checks, can't be tracked except by magical means. So you still technically have to whisper. It's not like, the barest whispers, just like the tiniest bit of sound. You can whisper just enough that you can hear each other comfortably, and you feel like, yeah, this might be comfortable. Easy enough.
So I take
So
it
now,
this is where you marked one of the creatures?
I told you before we came in here so you didn't have to talk about it because I don't know if these things can hear.
Actually, I didn't know that. So, yeah,
you did. You did.
yeah, the stupid human ruined the character. But go ahead. Yeah, I guess I know that now.
So if you'd like, make your stealth checks. Did you take your armor off? Actually, no. Split armor does not provide disadvantage on stealth checks, which is good.
I
Make your
was having
stealth
issues.
check, Luke.
I wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's a
Stealth.
22 plus 10.
Mm-hmm. Because you have advantage with your cloak. So 32 for Sioda. and a 25 for Lou.
Not bad.
Lou, you see that? Did you explain that it was on the ceiling, or did you explain that they were there?
I explained that the creatures were on the ceiling and that the mark was on the floor. And
So Lou, as you and Sila kind of press your backs very slowly against the wall and just kind of, gently walk, making sure there's no loose rocks as you kind of walk, and you use the wall as a guide so that you don't actually accidentally trip against each other. And Lou, you have an urge to look up, just to see what she said something was there. And you look up. Both of you are fairly short. So you look up and you notice there is a bulge in the ceiling, a droop in the ceiling, circular. Well, I guess it's a hemispherical shape that droops downwards. And as you pass underneath it, it doesn't seem to react. There's no motion, there's no signs of something moving or sounds. And you pass by with no issue.
Great.
the one up ahead.
And then you move forward about a minute away, so that's about 300 feet moving at normal speed before you kind of, a minute. I say minute away moving at just half speed just to be careful before, beginning to go at a normal pace until you come across the next little web on the ground. Make another stealth check.
Okay. Great. 30 for me.
37 too.
Mm-hmm. Again, you press against the wall just to steady yourself, and you move across with no issue. And again, reflexively, you look up just to see if you can get a better view of whatever it is, and it's still, there's no sign of motion or reactions at all. Little bit, minute of half speed, just to be careful before going at a normal pace, and you come across a third web. Stealth checks.
Lou thinks to himself, how many are there? Fuck.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Lou, you step, and you don't fail, because this is a 15 total. There's a moment where your foot catches on a loose rock, and in that motion of shifting weight, it kind of hits the floor a little bit. And you actually see little bits of dust starting to fall from the ceiling. And you look up again, and that hemisphere, that little dome that pokes out from the ceiling, kind of wriggles a bit before suddenly peeling open, and you just see a very large eye. Maybe the diameter of the eye is maybe the width of your torso. Like, it's pretty big. And it looks straight down. You can see as its pupil and iris dilate and flex as it just kind of looks down, and it moves its eye around very slowly.
I
You kind of
stay
hold your
where I am.
breath,
I stay where
and you
I
just kind
am.
of hold your breath in anticipation as this thing kind of passes over where you are, and then looks around before slowly closing again. And it isn't until it's fully closed that you kind of release a breath of like, oh, that happened.
Yeah,
And
that
you
happened.
continue
React at all?
onwards. One more minute of half speed until you feel comfortable enough to move away, maybe a tiny bit surprised at the literal giant eye, before you move at a normal speed and you come across, because with your dark vision, you start noticing the tunnel ends. Come to a point where you can actually see past just the walls, and you don't see much until you actually enter. Like, you exit the tunnel and you enter this space. And
Oh, new
you
map.
see. Hold on. As I drop you in, I'll put you here. I'll put you right next to him.
So I am 10 feet. So about here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I am not seeing anything. What do we do now, Siwata? Do you want to just move forward?
Do
You
I?
hear as you enter, Sealda mainly because you have a very high passive perception. You hear trickle of water, and with your dark vision, you can just both of you can just barely make out water just moving lazily, a river in this unknown space. The air is cool, and there is a very gentle breeze. It's hard for a moment you don't recognize that it's there, but as you're standing there, you do realize there is a very, very slow, constant airflow. It's very light, and it doesn't rustle your hair. It doesn't strike you as cool. It just very passive airflow that lets you know that there is, at the very least, another opening somewhere. What would you like to do?
What do you want to do, Siwata? Do we just move forward?
If I move up a little bit to like have a good view of the water surface, do I see any movement?
Where would you like to go?
Is this like a little ledge here?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I'd probably like approach that ledge, like move 20 feet towards it
Yeah,
to get a good vantage point. I
I'm
may
gonna.
the ruler off.
Yeah, and then let me do this just to show, because pass without trace is 30 feet. That's
Uh,
the
Never mind.
area of pass without trace.
I will come here. So if anything happens, I can
Okay.
cover him.
Both of well, Sioda, since you asked, I don't think Lou said anything yet, but Sioda, make a perception check. You kind of stare a little bit at this lake. You don't have advantage, do you?
I think you had inspiration.
DM's
Oh, I
inspiration.
burned it the other day. With the corpse collector thing.
Hmm. I don't think you have. Yeah, I don't think you have advantage on perception checks. So
State.
look around and you look down at this water. 17. Get the feeling, because it's hard to tell. Because dark vision specifically says that everything you see. So in dim light, it appears as darkness, as bright light. In dark light, it appears as dim light. Everything you see using your dark vision does not appear colored. It appears as shades of dark, black, and gray. So it's a very monotone kind of thing. As you kind of look around, you look down at this water, and you look at the rock, these rocks in the middle here, just large enough possibly to be stepping stones, like big enough to definitely like move on a little bit and be comfortable. And you get the feeling, because you can't quite see the bottom, that this river might be a lot deeper than it appears. But
It,
you're not sure unless you actually go in.
does it end right here? How does the map end right here?
It keeps going to either directions, but there is the cave wall kind of closes up there, and so the river just kind of pours through the wall and continues onward. You don't know where it ends. It's like yeah, it just like digs through it and continues in that direction, but there's still a wall. There's no other land for you to get on there, unless you walked on the wall itself.
So I don't see anything. But that doesn't mean there's not something there.
I want to say that Lou is looking around for anything suspicious or dangerous.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Do you need a perception?
Excuse me. Yes.
Perception. I always lose my perception. Okay, here we go. That's 8. Nice.
Nice. You don't hear anything beyond the sound of the water gently trickling as it moves.
I have no idea why, but it's like I am very good at one session, the next session, everything is gone.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. What would you like to do, both of you?
So what's the Lou? What are your thoughts on that we should cross this river? I don't know if the Quest Collectors could have been able to pass it, but
Where
I don't know
was
where else they would come from.
this was where you lost track of your spider, right?
He fell down here, and I lost signal.
Hmm. Does your find familiar consume a spell slot?
Does not. However, when I cast this ability, um, it hinders my ability to transform into other creatures.
So do you want to summon it for a quick spell? Talk to it, see if he saw anything or why the connection was broken. Maybe something attacked it that it can tell us about. Then after that, we decide what to do.
I don't have control over the specific spirit I'm able to summon. I only ask for a spirit to come forth. I think, from what I understand, it was a complete coincidence that I received the same spirit twice in a row.
Okay,
Um,
then
so
you said you don't think they passed the water,
I
right?
don't know of how else it would have been able to get through.
I mean,
Um,
uh, they can pass through the
they
the
are pretty big, but
yeah, they are undead, so they don't need breathing. They could have just walked to the bottom and they just come out of the other side, or they could have used these stepping stones. I just say be just move forward a bit. If we don't find anything, just come back
yeah, going around the perimeter would be a smart idea.
for about
Um,
like go about 20 minutes, half an hour. If we don't find anything, we go back to the city, discuss forming a team, and see where that takes us.
wouldn't give up this after half an hour. We don't know how deep this tunnel goes.
Ciola, at this point, you kind of check with yourself because you're actively concentrating. Well, you're keeping up the pass without trace. You've traveled for about, say, 45 minutes with the spell up. 45 to 50 minutes. It's kind of hard to tell time. With the spell up, so it will be running out in anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes as long as nothing happens.
I say we go about 30 minutes to let's just say we go about for 1 hour. In an hour, we can just cover about I don't know 40,000 feet. That's a lot. If we don't find anything in that period, then they are either nothing else coming through here and we just seal the entrance, or whatever was here found out we defeated the creatures and just packed and go and went. So that's my suggestion. Anything, if you want to do anything else or add anything to that, I am all ears.
I'm going to do a quick loop around this body of water.
Mhm.
She kind of
As
gestures towards like the uh, whole thing behind this cliff.
mhm. as you say that, you catch a faint whiff, both of you, of a odor. For a second, and it's gone. You breathe in, breathe. It's like at the end of your breath, and you're starting to breathe out. You kind of get a whiff of something unpleasant. You're not sure what.
Am I able to discern what the smell is specifically, or no?
Make a nature check. Incredible. It has the faintest whiff. Something dead. Just the tiniest bit of that kind of sickly sweet. Something is rotted, like maybe a mold or a fungus, mixed with something else. Like just that faint scent of decomposition.
If we don't find anything, you're welcome to turn back, but I would rather find the end of this path.
I'm with you.
And then Zierda starts kind of making her way around
Come
this
away.
whole section to see if she finds anything.
I will keep up with them, about 10 feet apart. Why can I?
Tell me if I move too quick too. I don't know.
No, I cannot move my token for some reason.
On the left side of the screen, did you make sure you have the token control selected?
Yeah, it just says attempted token movement collides with at least one wall.
You gotta go this way. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Go ahead.
Insight check these mushrooms. I don't know.
Nature check?
Yeah. Like I don't if they're poisonous or anything.
Nature check. They're pretty massive, and you can't like recognize them, not by any specifics, but just they're fairly common in the Underdark. Uh, they're not edible. They're pretty. They're almost rocky textured. Like you can use them as stepping stones more than anything else. They're not really useful. Not dangerous either. They just kind of are. Like a lot of the things in Underdark, they're ambiguous at best. If it's not trying to kill you, it's probably okay.
Normal mushrooms. They're vibing. Okay.
Normal massive mushrooms.
Sioda,
Mm.
just keeping an eye out for anything that can be left behind from a dead body. Because if I'm correct, and this is where the bodies came uh, when the creatures were done, we can find like aftermaths of body decomp here. So keep an eye
Make
out.
a perception check as you keep your eyes and ears peeled for any strange things.
Do you need me to do a perception too?
Yes, it was. Yes. Originally directed at Lou because he was really doing his perception while you did your.
It's
Seems normal. It seems like a cave. It's like
a cave!
again, you're not well versed under dark matters, so this is actually like pretty new to you.
Yeah, it's my first time here, man.
But do I notice anything on the opposite side of the river?
Make a percept. Well, I guess.
Yeah, I
Could
can
use
reuse
your.
that one. if you want.
Yeah, we'll reuse that one. You kind of listen, and you hear the very faint sound with as the noxious odor gets the tiniest bit stronger, and you can actually smell the decomposition and rot and mold and fungus scents. You get just the lightest hint of voice, a low murmur that at first you confuse for a babbling, like the sound of the river being like, oh, it's a babbling brook kind of thing, because it makes its own noise as the water pushes past the stones and over itself. But then you hear focus, and you kind of hear just a little bit. It's like something muttering under their breath.
she hears that, she immediately puts her hand up to Lou, to indicate that she heard something.
Actually,
She'll
do I see this guy here, 45 feet from me?
Not with your perception check.
Can I do
Everything
another
appears
one?
as shades of no, this is the same one. Everything appears as shades of black and gray with dark vision. So you don't see anything because there's no light. It's Celia gets hearing. She hears the sounds, but you were just kind of like moving along, and you're just hearing the river. Oh, I toggled it invisible for the sake of simplicity.
What's going on? What did you see?
she puts her finger to her lips, spreads her fingers out into like a palm with her thumb at her mouth, and then gestures towards the shapes she sees across the river.
And at this point, because she's helping you, you look and you finally get a hint of a figure, because that gives you advantage, so that 2 becomes a 15. See
uh,
how I try to do this? I try to like make it real time, real time, in time, game time.
uh,
Yes, you do finally see a creature. You don't hear what Sealed is hearing, but you do see a black cloaked figure that just barely stands out against the darkness of dark vision. It seems to be moving very slowly and looks stooped over something.
Lou just shakes his head in acknowledgement and then points to about in the stone here to indicate that he wants to cross the river from here to go to the guy and creature and whatever.
Is this a 10 or 15 gap right here?
So here is where the edge is,
Yeah.
and oops, and it's a 15. Well, 15 kind of gets you on this kind of rock, which is mostly submerged in water. Doesn't look very safe. 20 feet would actually be here's the ramp
Stable.
kind of thing, stable ground. So if you wanted to do long jump stuff, I mean,
That would be not recommended, I feel like. And this water, it seems equally as deep as anything else, right?
yeah, it continues on down, down, and you can't quite see a bottom, and you don't see anything in it right now. The water itself is like, I wouldn't say murky, but it's definitely like clouded with minerals and sediment.
My
It's not easy to
knowledge
see through.
of the spell control water, would it be
Mhm.
possible for me to kind of like make, you know that scene, you watched Avatar, right?
Ice bridge,
You know that,
control water
not
specifically.
like, I don't know if you remember the episode of I think it was the Serpent's Pass,
Hmm.
where Katara kind of made like an underwater tunnel bubble.
In theory, that is possible. Okay, you can cause water level to increase. You can cause the water to in the air in an area to move apart and create a trench like Moses.
Yeah, I
But
just
it
was
wouldn't
about
have
to
like a
say that.
ceiling to it though.
Hold on, let me see. Until the spell ends, you can control freestanding water inside an area you choose that is a cube up to 100 feet on a side. So there's part water, redirect flow, whirlpool, and flood. So you want to part water.
Yeah, I
What I would
was.
like to do is, if it's possible, have like a ceiling there to try to camouflage what we're doing. But if
Hmm.
that's not part of the spell, then ignore it.
Theory is that what it says is you're parting water within area up to 100 feet on a side. So
Yeah.
it is possible
Like
if
if I parted only like a
yeah,
5 foot tall worth of
it can be
water.
selective. So would you like to cast the spell? Ooh, actually, let me double check something. Control water is a concentration spell, so pass without trace would drop.
Yeah.
So
Um
if you would like to, that is a viable choice.
I'm Mm, I feel like it would prevent, or at least help stifle, a like if there's something in the water, it would prevent it from being able to sense us a little bit more.
Because
But
water has its
that,
own passive sound, so you're kind of just banking on that.
yeah, because certain fish I think are able to sense disturbances in the water. I don't know. Um, so yeah, Siota would gesture Lou to be a little bit quiet with her finger to her lips again, and drop pass without trace in order to
Boom.
bring up controlled water.
Okay, cast that spell
Mm.
and remake a. Is it a stealth check or sleight of hand? Make another stealth check to keep your voice down because this does require verbal and somatic. Well, verbal components mainly. Like that's the real big thing. Oh, you're fine. You're able to mutter just under your breath, making sure to kind of keep your volume close to or below the sound of whatever is on the other side, and you're able to cast. And Lou, you kind of watch as the water kind of bulges slightly in one spot, and then it starts to open up like a maw, and now there's an overarching tunnel of like an overpass of water, and there you can see the ramp that leads down in front of you continues onwards in dry land, and it's not a comfy slope. It is like 25-foot steep slope. It's not a gentle ramp.
Lou just gives a thumbs up to Siona.
And then so you're basically doing this whole thing.
I did the thing to
That's
just go
the
like from here to here.
okay, yeah, easily. Okay,
Uh,
so yeah, there's a massive bridge.
yeah. Lou just gives a thumbs up to Siona and just
I'll do that.
starts moving about
Siota
here.
Make
like
stealth check as you go down because there are lots of loose rocks and riverbed, and you kind of and with your heavy armor, you kind of slide down. Ooh,
if Lou was
that's
going
fun.
in first, uh Siota would try to like put the like have the water like immediately cover the back of him to try to muffle the sound.
I was gonna say you have advantage on this because the water does create its own noise. So
Okay.
thankfully, a 16 is enough. Um,
Lou just
as you
stands there waiting for Siona.
slide down this slope of gravel, just bring you over because I think there's a wall in front of you. There you go. You slowly slide down, and you keep your hands up. You channel the magic just to make sure that the tunnel stays above your heads, reasonably high. And this right here is another like 25 steep slope of riverbed, so you would have to make athletics checks to climb.
Be a little bit easier if it turned and curved around like here, or no?
It's the same, like it's a very steep. And then this is like a 20 because from the bottom of the ramp to the actual bottom, that's like 25 feet elevation change. Lou, you 11, you kind of get halfway and then you start to slide down because the sheer amount of
Hold on,
armor you're wearing.
I'm riding my steed, so can I get advantage?
Are you riding your wolf?
Yes.
Oh God, hold on, let me grab your wolf's stats.
I'm right.
Uh,
I have been riding my wolf since we got
I
to
thought it was
the.
walking with you. I didn't
No, no,
think it
no.
was. Okay, let's see. Athletics
You
on the
just
wolf.
dismounted it when we were sneaking past those eyeballs.
Yeah. Um,
I just dismounted for that.
Because I think technically you might wanted to have rolled a stealth check separately for the
oh,
wolf, depending on how you
yeah,
want to
I
do it.
thought you had left it. I didn't actually realize you brought it with you. If you are mounting your wolf right now, it makes the athletics check with disadvantage, so it fails. So it goes halfway up, and then it starts to slowly slide down. And, it digs its paws in to kind of be still, but it just slides to the bottom.
So do I just go back up again?
If you would like, are you going to stay mounted, or are you going to dismount,
No,
or what
I'm
are you going
just
to do?
gonna dismount. Just we
Okay,
can
now you're
go
dismounted
separately.
from your wolf companion, and go ahead and make your athletics check, and the wolf has to make its own athletics check. Okay. You
The other
managed
would
to get up just fine. Wolf still struggles to get up.
Can I? How far is this? Can
can
I just?
Fiona use the control water to give the wolf a small push upwards?
Hmm. Let me redraw that. Here we go.
And Lou is just waiting for the wolf to just come into his reach, so he can just grab one of his legs and help him up.
Yeah, I say you can do that. See how that as you, because you get up, and as you kind of look down at the wolf, you control the water to kind of fall down back into the river, and you make it so that it kind of scoops like an ice cream scoop, fall in a specific direction, and with that backlash, push against the bottom of the wolf as it charges up one more time, and it gets advantage from you and because of Lou. So let's see. Yay! The water just enough force to push it up, and Lou, you're able to just barely grab onto its paws and heave up as it pulls back with its strength, and you get your wolf companion onto the ramp next to you.
I will mount the wolf and just pet his head and whisper into
Okay.
his ear. Are you okay, buddy?
Are you ending the concentration on the spell?
Control water?
Yes.
Not right. Is this guy over there within range of it?
How much
In
It's
range?
range of the
still
flood ability?
in range of the control water spell.
In range of flood. Um, just says that until the spell ends. As an action on your turn, you can repeat the same effect or choose a different one. It has to be any freestanding water within a 100-foot cube, and the range of the spell is 300 feet. So, yes, all those conditions are satisfied. You can cause something else to happen.
Did look at Lou and kind of like point at his feet for a minute, and then walk ahead and see if I could perceive what this guy is doing actively.
Okay. Go ahead and move your token as you and make a perception check, Sioda, as you start focusing on this figure who's still muttering under their breath.
I am trying to be sneaky.
Tinky.
Sneaky. Perception. Monk.
Lou just moves slow.
You Mhm. You actually, both of you also make stealth checks as you make your way up and start getting physically closer to this figure, so that you are able to hear words it's speaking are arcane. As a druid, you have your own. There's a style of arcane babble that you utilize that reflects druidic magic. This seems more strictly arcane, a wizardly sense. Like it sounds, how do I put this? Druidic magic it flows. It's natural. It comes from you easily because you're channeling the power of the earth. This sounds very technical. It doesn't sound like someone is guiding magic along. It sounds like they're trying to force magic to do their will. Lou, make your stealth check.
I see anything that he's holding, or would I need to get closer?
You do see that that the figure seems stooped over a cauldron, and there is a rod in their hand that they are slowly stirring with. Lou, you get a 16 on your stealth check.
Am I able
They
to
don't seem
smell
to
anything?
move. Probably not.
Okay.
And also, you don't have a clear line of. Actually, no, you do have a clear line of sight. It's just the way the walls are structured. Let me.
Snip.
Almost. And one more. Boop. There we go. You can still see them. Just there. They don't seem to have responded to your presence just yet.
So How steep were these walls here?
About 25 feet.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So what are you going to do?
Siota would creep up a little bit more, kind of hugging this wall here.
Make one more stealth check since you are now very, very close and you are within range of their normal vision. Ooh, very nice. Huh. You move and you move silently, and then you see their head kind of snap up. They stop muttering. They kind of look to the side, not towards you, but to their right side, and they seem to be listening for something.
Do I? I'm not able to see what kind of race this creature is, am I?
Well, since you have rolled pretty well in perception and you're close enough, you and I guess Lou. Oh, there's not a way I can. Actually, hold on. I can just send it to you directly because Lou is not actually in range to see.
Lou is waiting for something to happen. Then he will move. Because he is kind of worried about blowing Sioda's kind of like cover, I want to say.
Hmm. Oh my god, why is it so difficult to?
So he's
Mitsuki
just
Siota also asked for him to stay behind. But do you? You do you?
I can. This is about the best I can do at this moment. See that you see this a figure all enclosed in a black cloak. You can kind of just see the profile, and you notice that they seem to wear some sort of silver chains, and there's something along the very front of whatever cloak they're wearing that is also kind of a light silvery color. And it only stands out because their cloak itself is so pitch black that any color variation stands out. It's just a slightly lighter shade of gray. Your dark vision.
I know I wouldn't be able to perceive any color, but would I notice any discolor, not discoloration, but like dirt or soiledness on like the sleeves or the boots or anything like that?
Seems pristine.
Hmm. Okay.
but
Do I perceive anything that he's looking at the moment?
He's looking off. Well, they are looking off in like over this direction, not at you. Again, it's like that thing where you look to the side and you kind of tilt your head down, just kind of focus on listening. And they slowly start to turn their head the other direction to kind of look in front, and then slowly continue moving to look in your direction. You have an action. What would you like to do as their hooded face is starting to look over towards you, and they'll see you if you stand out in the open, or at least they'll have a chance to make a perception check versus your stealth checks.
Siora would take a shot with her bow at the moment.
Ooh, you're gonna
Yeah.
shoot with your bow.
I feel like that would be her instinct. I don't know.
Okay, you grab your bow and you make an attack roll. Lou, you just barely, because Seal's kind of tucked against the wall. You just barely notice as she quickly draws a bow, and arrow, and twing, lets it fly.
I will. Can I do something before?
It's not your turn right now.
So you know
Oh,
how I haven't actually shot with a bow before in this thing? It's asking me for ammunition, and I think that
Do you
like
know
because I got it from the character creator thing, I would have 20.
Ah, right. Hold on. Let me throw that in your character sheet because for some reason it does not give you ammunition, which is always weird. Okay, arrows.
You went into kind
There
of
you
like.
go. Take a shot with your short bow.
Is it a surprise round? Does this count as a surprise round?
Yes.
No ammunition is specified.
Okay, hold on.
Never specified.
There we go. I did it. Try one more time.
Yay!
Yay!
Ooh, that's a good roll. You kind of let loose the arrow. Twing. It impacts with a solid sound in the shoulder of this individual as they recoil, turn towards you, and I mean, are we rolling initiative?
Uh, is it does Lou hear that?
You watch Sioda draw a bow and shoot something, and you hear the sound as the arrow flies through the air and impacts something.
So I will cast haste on myself.
Okay. So you use your action to cast haste, and the individual turns towards you, and
And because I
well,
have
turns towards the other,
and
right?
because
Because you have haste.
yeah, I will move about here.
What's your are you using your full movement? I mean, the wolf's full movement.
So it's 80 now, so I can
Yeah,
go anywhere I want.
pretty
I
much.
want to be about here, close to Sioda.
Okay. So you move over there. Let me get rid of these walls because it's kind of obvious that they're there. There we go.
What did Sioda see? Because
You, as you're finally getting closer, see this.
hey, that's from Kingdom Hearts. Nice.
Just turns as it gets shot in the shoulder, and it turns so its left shoulder is now is now kind of it turns away, pivoting on its right foot to look in both of your direction. Both of you make wisdom saves.
Wisdom. Wisdom. Not good. You
It's
gotta
of any relevance. I do have an advantage versus charm. That
Right.
you get
Lou,
a +3 to your save.
within 10 feet. Nope, she's not within 10 feet. Because you're not level 18 yet, or
So
15, or whatever it is.
I just came that
Shit.
because of that. So can you just move me for 5 feet?
No. You chose your movement.
yeah,
Lou,
but
you, as you kind of get closer, and
wait, didn't you do haste? Isn't your movement
he
speed?
did, but he didn't move his full speed. He can move 80 feet normally because he's on a wolf, and he's like, no, I'm gonna move here. Specified here.
Yeah, because 80 feet. I just wanted to be like close to you,
But you
because
specified how far you wanted to move and where you wanted to move.
yeah. I got
You see what I'm saying?
11.
It's fine. Siota's short.
Yeah, Sioda is okay, but I'm not.
The depth perception is off.
Lou, you have a +3, so that's a 12 total. You don't feel anything magical. And in this moment where the figure turns towards you and you can just see the front of the hood, you don't see any facial features. It seems to be completely covered. I mean, dark vision alone wouldn't give you much detail unless you lit a light. And you feel that pounding in the back of your head that appeared earlier when Meshuda turned on that strange star map and caused something to happen to you. That sensation kind of pulses almost like an oncoming migraine, just pulses in your brain and kind of like it doesn't frighten you as your paladin magics, which have become stronger, start to rebel against that sensation of fear and actively force it away. You still feel a sense of hesitation as this pounding begins to increase in your mind. As the figure turns, and in one quick motion, put their hand onto the cauldron. And their left hand like flays outwards, palm facing towards their back, as a egg-shaped blackness suddenly appears behind them. Grab the cauldron, pull it with one step, enter this shape, and they all disappear completely.
What just happened? Can I move?
Yes. You're free to
I
move.
perceive like footsteps in any way.
Would you like to get closer since they seem to be gone?
I will
Yes.
come here.
I'm highly listening for footsteps more than absolutely anything.
Also,
Perception check.
I'm looking for anything.
Blue investigation if you're searching for something. Perception if you're just listening.
Investigation.
So that you do not hear the sound of footsteps, just the sound of the water. Lou, you kind of look around. You see the four prongs of the cauldron, kind of where it's stabbed into the ground. You see it there, and you do kind of look around for just a second, and you do see like the light imprint of a pair of shoes, but no other signs.
Is there anywhere to
Um,
go from here?
Fiora would move up to where the cauldron was and begin to cast commune with nature.
Ooh, cast that spell. Is it concentration too? Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not.
it's a ritual, but she would be casting it as a like within the minute.
Right. Okay, commune with nature. A wonderful spell, all things considered. You briefly become one with nature, gain knowledge of the surrounding territory. The spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles. In caves and other underground settings, the radius is limited to 300 feet. The spell does not function where nature has been replaced by construction. You instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts. Your choice. Terrain in bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples, powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elements, or undead, influence from other planes of existence, or buildings.
Yeah, I would be asking about powerful. If I have to specify any of those, it would be powerful undead.
It's like the normal commune spell that Clark get. You're asking 3 questions of nature to kind of get that a feeling. So you're looking for powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead. And just for the sake of, illustration, ooh, actually, that's 300 feet. Actually, is so massive that you not only a sonar, like a bat's sonar ping, you not only are able to ping the entire cave structure that you're in right now, but you're also kind of able to ping through like the entrance where the rivers feed past stone walls,
Mm-hmm.
and the tunnel you were in, you're able to ping quite a distance into that. Enough
Like
to for the spell to
reference
tell you.
for reference, would we ping like the graveyard from the town we were just at?
No. So okay, so you all walked 30 feet round in the tunnel for an hour, give or take some slow motion thing.
Okay, okay,
So that's 18,000 feet of tunnel you
okay.
traversed.
All right.
You're able to get a pretty fair way into the tunnel, but obviously nowhere near the whole thing. So you cast commune with nature, Lee. You kind of feel like that sonar ping, just the magic kind of pulsing from her, like a breath of fresh air, pushes through your body. Pleasant and carries the faint scent of flowers and things that you're not actually very familiar with, given the scarcity of living things. So it's like a weird sweet scent that you can't quite place. So that you focus the spell and you reach out for the anything to do with powerful creatures that are not that don't belong in this plane normally, or at least are technically unnatural to the world you live in. You kind of get the sensation of that same scent of desiccation and rot that came from the noxious fumes that came from the cauldron, and also similar to what you kind of experienced with the strange creatures in Anfaras. Get that sensation that you've now learned to relate to the presence of undead creatures. Don't get anything relating to the other types. You just get that scent of undeath. What is your second question?
So would I be able to discern the location of the powerful undead in the area, or or would I need to be more specific?
You can feel the taint seems to be strongest along a majority of the river, starting around here, and leading all the way through here and past into the wall beyond. It seems they came from that direction. And because the range of 300 feet is massive, you can kind of feel as you pulse the magic and you dig deeper in that direction. It keeps going until the end of your awareness with this spell. And then, of course, continues from the river down through the tunnel that leads to Anveras. What is your third question?
Um, if possible, the location of it. When it says prevalent peoples, it's not an individual. It would be like a settlement of some kind, right?
It would be a settlement. Like, here's the largest concentration of insert humanoid. It wouldn't tell you anything specific.
So if the largest concentration of humanoid was one person, it wouldn't work.
Technically, the largest concentration of humanoids within 300 feet is you and Lu standing 10 feet apart.
But are we really prevalent? We're like less than 4 feet.
As far as the spell is concerned, you're the only
Okay.
concentration of people. You are the only concentration of
All right.
people within the radius.
Do I sense influence from other planes of existence here?
Those were your only two questions. Yes, it was. Okay. Third question. Influence from other planes of existence.
No, I already asked it. It's cool.
You know what the world feels like. You know how it feels in the ashen wastes, that irradiated, that stale taste on your tongue as everything is basically dead, with pockets of life struggling to break out. Pockets of life being the dens and holds that carry a sad overtone to them. And in your travels, you've encountered the very farthest reaches of your commune with nature spell a pulse of pure life that kind of draws you to it, but at the same time kind of pushes you away, and that you've learned over your travels to recognize as the influence of another druid, and that in order to perform your duty best, at least the duty that the world has bestowed upon you with your druidic powers, is the message comes across normally as like, this is not your territory. You can find somewhere else to settle and start an oasis, because most druids start oases in the Ashen Wastes. You do not feel anything that would register as a different plane. It does. It just that same stale taste. Nothing new to it. Those are your three questions.
So this river border here,
Hmm.
is that the same thing as the left side? Is that just
Mhm.
it meets
It
the wall?
continues on. It continues on, but there's a wall there because it didn't carve a massive canyon that continues on. It's not a Minecraft ravine. There's a wall there under which the water has flowed and carved through the rock.
Lou just looks at Sealda and says, "Found anything?"
River is tainted with undead.
It must be where they came from when they wanted to come to Anfros. What do we do now? Go back?
I want to try to find that person. I feel like they know something.
Yeah, definitely know something because when they looked at me, uh, did you get the feeling of a pulsing behind your head when Michelle opened the orb?
Yeah.
Yeah. When this guy looked at me, I got the same feeling again. And the only thing that prevented me from panicking was my feat as a paladin. So he definitely knows something, but I don't know if we have a way to find him. Actually, we might have something here or not. Never mind. We have no way of finding him.
So
Go ahead.
I was looking at my list right now.
Haste is gone now, right?
It lasts for up to 10 minutes.
1 minute.
1 minute. So yeah, it would end by the time she's finished the casting of Commune with Nature.
Do I get the same like freezing up, or is it like different out of combat?
Sorry, say that again?
Do I get like that feeling of freezing up that you get, or is it different out of combat? Because it says when it's done, you
Yeah.
can't do a turn.
You feel a wave of exhaustion as it kind of the spell ends. It's like a caffeine crash. It's gonna ugh, and your wolf feels it too. Or kind of staggers. And a few seconds later, you're able to kind of shake it off.
I just pat him in the head and say, "Easy there, buddy." So, what do you want to do, Siota?
Mhm.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm trying to read everything, and then he's distracting me. Um. blah, blah, blah. This is all just dead end. Um,
Right.
part of me would like to go down that river and see if it actually goes somewhere.
But we don't have any way of going down there.
I do.
How?
I could travel about a good 600 feet more. Well, actually, you know what? I could go there for as long as I want, but the 600 feet would be more comfortable.
Can you breathe underwater?
Yes.
Okay then. I will wait here for
The
you.
control water spell is still in effect, I will say.
Yeah, I would use the control with water to get as far as possible, and then cast water breathing and go probably against this current. I don't know how strong the current is here. I don't know if
So,
we're going out of bounds and we hit an invisible barrier.
do you want to use control water, continue on past this area?
Yes.
Can you
And
take
if
You can
me
do
with you?
that. You can do that without water breathing. You can even with blue walking behind you. You could use part water to keep it above your heads, and because it's as an action, you reapply the effect. So as you move, from one edge of 100-foot cube to another, you move, and then as an action, you reapply the effect to keep the next chunk up above your heads, and you continue going on like that.
nice. Okay.
Just be mindful, the spell lasts 10 minutes, and I don't know how many spell slots you have at that level, so just be careful. Sure,
So
you can
yeah,
come
it's
back.
I'd be able to cast it 2 more times, but instead of casting it 2 more times, I would cast water breathing at 3rd level, and that would
Fair.
last for 24 hours.
You both literally take the plunge as you decide you need to go deeper. And that's 2 references in a row.
Yeah.
Subnautica,
Incredible.
A plus.
I mean, inspiration for both of you.
Subnautica
As you start
is a great game.
making your way
Make him away.
farther through this river, continuing on till the point where the first instance of control water fades. And Sealda casts her second. Keep everything above. And during this time, the 8.5 minutes you had left of that first casting, you continue onwards, and it's just a tunnel. But you do notice that the riverbed actually goes farther down. Just a little bit, not a lot. It's a gentle, gentle slope. And at first you don't recognize it until you look behind you and you realize exactly how far you've gone. Are you using a light of any sort, or are you just trusting your dark vision right now?
The moment I was trusting my dark vision.
Yeah, same. Because
Mm-hmm.
Lou just says if I just light up a torch, it's gonna go out because of all the water.
Well,
Okay.
we have a pocket of air, but I don't know if the fire would eat up that air quicker, or if we're getting oxygen from the like if it's permeable enough for oxygen to get through, you know?
I mean, we
I mean,
both have a dark vision. I could say we can just trust that, and it doesn't need like oxygen or something.
this is incredible on so many levels. I love this. Continue forth,
Yeah.
trusting your dark
Um,
vision as you move on and on. Make hmm. The other make a nature check. I would give you the option of nature or arcana, but I think we both know what you choose.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a druid. Like,
We know I'm the brains of the group.
No, you are the mother of the group.
I'm
both, really. Mother hen, just the smart one in general. Incredible.
I
You
wanted to
continue
dump
forward,
intelligence, but I just rolled pretty well.
right? You continue onward, and you feel a little sensation with your control water as you're literally manipulating this for several minutes at a time, and you're kind of getting used to the current of it. And as you're pulling it, you realize there's a point that you reach about halfway through your second casting where the current kind of slows down. And as you continue forward, it goes in the other direction, in the direction you're walking, instead of going behind you.
But
You don't see above you because the walls at this point are becoming more and more sheer, and even if there was land, there's no way you could have possibly succeeded on athletics checks to climb that sheer of a wall at this point. You continue forward, and then right near, like maybe the 7 or 8 minute mark of that second spell, of the second casting of control water, so you feel a tug, current rushing, and you get the sensation, you get the intuition that you might be approaching some sort of waterfall.
oh shit.
And at this point, you look around, both of you, and you do notice that the walls are slowly starting to become a little more shallow. They're starting to become a little easier to climb up. And you get to a point where you can both start to feel the current actually pulling against you. No, sorry, there's no current because the water is above you. Sorry, but you see the water actively moving quickly the direction you're walking. And you're able to spot a part where there seems to be a naturally formed sort of ramp that would let you go up to about the water level.
We
Would you
gotta
like to
go
go
up.
up?
We
I
gotta
would,
go
yeah.
up.
I would go up.
I will follow.
Okay. Okay.
Dismount. Dismount.
You
And do a.
no athletics checks. No athletics checks. Dismounting gives your mount enough of an easy time. It's not super steep, but it's steep enough that it's a struggle, but you don't have to actually, work to get up. So you're keeping the water above your heads as you continue forward, and you finally come up to the level of the water. Uh, and just a few dozen feet ahead, you see a
So dismiss the steed at any time.
Yes, it
And
can
you
be
can cast
dismissed.
it again. You can dismiss the wolf if you don't want him to have to roll for stuff.
He's choosing to keep it so that he doesn't have to spend the time casting it.
Yeah, I'm choosing
Okay.
to keep it because it adds to my movement, and because if I want to get it back, I have to spend a spell slot.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you can dismiss
See.
it and then bring it back as an action, but without casting the spell again for as long as the spell's duration is out. It's a constant. Matter.
It's
Yeah.
mildly complicated. It's a spell. It's a
Mm.
good spell, especially if you just need to get around. So
Hold on,
it's,
let me check with fine state.
I might be wrong. I've never played a paladin. I don't know. I might be talking out my ass.
mm-mm. And you okay. The two of you climb up this natural ramp, and you find yourselves in a new space. And you hear the rushing of water as it crashes down deeper and deeper. You can just barely see with your dark visions. You can just barely notice that there actually seems to be a bit of light. Bioluminescent lichen and mosses that grow and cling to rocks and the walls. And the ceiling, which you notice is high, high above you. And with these bioluminescent growths, they appear almost like stars. Like one of the only times you're ever able to. It's very rare to see stars, but it's a sight you always remember. And this almost mimics the sight of those stars. And you can see there's not light. There's not enough light for it to be considered dim light, but there's enough light that you can, navigate your way without tripping or anything. And you notice that this seems to be like a terraced, naturally formed sort of like falls, rapids maybe, but not as fast. They continue forward. What would you like to do?
It's pretty. Uh, do we just walk? Do you sense anything here?
If I approach this ledge here, do I make any do I perceive anything of concern?
As you approach the ledge and you just look, it appears the same, but you can now see in your the very edges of your dark vision, deep, far below,
Patreon neutral party.
you can see, right? Unfortunately, I can't get rid of that because this
You're
is
good.
not something I purchased.
That's the VPEG.
Right. And you see the water. You see the water, far distance.
We just moves here.
Like a lake, a massive subterranean lake. As you start to both make your way around like these little overhangs that are like maybe 10, 15 feet drops, and you just kind of go around this naturally made path. Or you can, just do that. And Lou, you do see it as well. Massive drop that leads to the very edge of your dark vision. 60 feet of dark vision. A massive drop that leads into a lake. Water rippling. And the water itself has a bit of light to it, as you can see chunks of bioluminescent those bioluminescent growths kind of providing a little bit of light. And as you cross through here, it's shallow enough that you can walk and it only comes up to maybe mid thigh, even for your small sizes. So you're able to kind of, if you want, slosh through and you can just see this massive space in front of you. And it's quiet. And I would like both of you to make perception checks as you're now at the very edge of traversable ground.
Perception. Perception. I always lose my perception.
Even with lucky, it still sucks. Even with lucky,
Not
it's still
no no no
sucky.
no. One of them is persuasion.
Oh,
So
okay, it's fine.
now I will burn a
Now you will
lucky
lose.
point.
Lucky. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not so sucky. Both of you. Lou,
Not
for once,
bad now.
displaying a greater degree of paying attentionness than the druid. You both look out. You don't hear anything. There's no sound. It's quiet. Just the sound of the water as it rushes and crashes and falls. You look around and listen. And then you see in the distance, down at the bottom of this lake, of the surface of this lake, these strange waters that glow a bluish green color. See, for a flicker of an instant, dark shadow underneath the surface that swims before seemingly going deeper as it disappears from your vision. You have no idea what it is.
Did you see that?
Tiara, a little distracted, looking at like the ceiling and the vast open space. She's never seen a cabin this expansive before, I imagine. Um, she kind of looks at. Uh, what did you see?
It was something in the water. It was like kind of shadow. Maybe something that lives in the water. I don't know. Did I get any kind of uh, kind of magic feeling from it, or
Go
is
ahead
it?
and make an Arcana check if you want to try to detect any magical residue. And what is it you're trying to? Is it just the area, or is it like the specific
No,
plant-like growth?
the creature I saw.
Like, oh, well, that you wouldn't be able to tell from this distance.
But
You
the
saw something.
yeah, I saw something,
It's
and I
so
don't
far
know what
away, you're not
something.
sure what you saw.
But
Like,
can I?
it could have just been like a piece of driftwood from some long dead tree that happened to be floated up and just started sinking.
Can
I
I?
know of any.
Can I discern any kind of magical residue here from something like a teleportation or something?
Hmm. You could try. I think you had a 14 on the Arcana check you made.
Yeah, it was a 14.
You are not well versed with magic. You are a paladin. You gain your magic through the strength of your will and your oath to your liege, which in your case is Bahamut. There's no way for you to really tell, like, what is magical residue? What does it feel like? How do I detect it? You don't know. It is
Okay.
something you are very much unaware of, on principle.
I commune with nature spell. Did I sense the undead energy flowing out this direction this far,
You
or would
did.
this be out of
You
reach?
well,
Okay.
with your commune with nature spell, you were able to discern it extended onwards for a very far distance before it hit the edge of your awareness. And you can only imagine either the taint of undeath has continued this far, or there was another area. Because again, the walls were impossible to climb for the majority of the trip. So either there's another piece of flat land that these creatures just fell down and continued marching through, which is plausible considering they don't need to breathe or anything, or they've continued even to this space where you're at, and maybe they even originated from this lake. You don't know because you only have maybe one or two clues.
I
How
This is
far is
dumb,
this?
but okay.
You're gonna say Siola?
Um, it's dumb, but if I lean down to like drink from the water, would I be able to taste anything nasty?
Make a Nate. Hmm.
Yoda is
Investigation.
the investigator who would like taste the blood to find out it's
I
blood.
mean, you're a druid. Yeah, make a nature check.
Nature?
Um, yeah, because investigation's like physical clues. Nature is just like you know what water tastes like. You know what nature is and isn't. So, um, take a sip. You don't taste. It tastes clear and cool, refreshing spring water, natural, refreshing, and nothing seems unusual about it. It seems fine. You wait for a few moments, and it's still fine. At this point, I will note that you have a minute left of your second casting of Control Water.
Lou just sees Yoda drinking the water. Nothing happens, so he takes a bit of water, drinks it, and when he sees it's safe, he fills out his water skin and
Hmm.
drinks a bit. Also, how far is this thing here?
It is a 60-foot drop. It goes until the very edge of your dark vision.
Hmm.
Lake in front of us is expansive. You don't see like any discernible edge or reason to cross.
Yeah. The water itself has a light glow to it, but there's not enough to tell anything other than it's kind of shiny because probably whatever those things above you are that are glowing.
I'm shiny. Uh,
Behind us, do we is the entrance to that cave like what did it look like it was just straight rock above the surface of the water, the straight through? Or
When you were traveling, you were underneath a lot of water. You couldn't tell.
okay.
Walls seemed normal, kind of that sediment. It was broken down sediment and gravel, so you weren't really you never stopped to check, so you really aren't sure of any like if there's special types of mineral. You just know that there's a lot of mineral. Here, however, again, that's where things are actually like, oh, this is different. Things are glowing here.
can Lou use his stone sense to find out if the undead have traveled here?
Roll for stone sense, so I can read it.
Stone sense. I think it's in
Roll it.
my futures. Stone
Should be in like
sense.
passive.
Hold on. Let me find it. Ah.
Yes, and then roll it for me.
Stone cunning. Sorry.
Stone cunning, roll it. Whenever you make a history check related to the origin of stonework, you're considered proficient in the history. You're considered an expert in the history skill. So it says stonework, but if you would like, I could let you make a history check to determine anything specific about the glowing rocks if you happen to procure a sample. I will say that you do notice that there are little specks of it in the walls. A little bit. Not
Okay.
nearly as much as the ceiling, but there are little chunks here and there, very small pieces.
I am proficient in history already, so does it count as an expert?
You are, for related to stonework, you are considered an expert in history.
So how much does it add to my?
So roll history, and then add your proficiency bonus a second time.
So another
So,
6.
nope, your proficiency bonus is not 6.
Oh,
Proficiency bonus is +4.
well, sorry.
So
18.
18. You
So my
kind of
initiative.
move over to the wall. You reach and you kind of reach for one of those chunks and you kind of grab it, and the wall kind of crumbles a little bit, so you have a little pocket of dust in your hand. And you sift through it until you find that shiny piece. And even with your dark vision, like it shines, has a little bit of light to it. And you pick up this small piece, and it's no bigger than like, those really tiny diamonds that they would have on expensive rings that they use as decoration on the rings, not the actual piece itself. Very small, and you kind of hold it up to your eye. Really examine it, and you make a connection. Let's see. Let's see. As you kind of think back, like what ore or minerals, what glows blue in darkness? And again, you have no experience with magic, so there's no way to really tell, is this a magical thing? Is it just a natural thing? Because it's not your forte whatsoever. Um, you keep thinking back and you kind of draw, as far as your experience will allow, earth and rocks are something that is kind of in dwarven lineage, very deeply entwined with your people. It's not something you yourself are really interested in. I mean, you became a scout instead of a miner, or a researcher, or a jeweler, but it's something that you know because it's something that you learned because it was something considered essential for all dwarves to know. And as you kind of look at it, ooh, yeah, you think back to one specific mineral that does have a light blue glow when subjected to pure darkness, and normally when subjected to lights or different like reflections has a bit of a rainbow color to it, a natural effervescence. And as far as you can tell, what you seem to have in your hand is the tiniest speck of unrefined, naturally occurring adamantium.
Wait, what?
Tiniest little speck of unrefined, naturally occurring adamant.
Hold on. I have a torch. Can I light it and confirm that?
Sure. Yeah, its torch is like what, 20 feet?
Uh,
Torch. 20-foot radius of bright light, 20-foot radius of dim light beyond that. Okay. So see that suddenly there's like a as Lou lights a torch, and he's staring very intently. He seems quite excited actually as he's staring at this speck of dust in his hand.
While he's getting his rocks off,
Slow clap for you, madam. Slow clap.
Sienna's gonna go back up to the top of the tunnel and cast her Find Familiar equivalent. Summon an octopus and have the octopus kind of skim along the surface of the water if possible.
You summon a little fey creature that immediately takes the shape of the octopus as you desire, and it kind of boom, plops into the water. It's like, I'm in the water. Oh, this is new. And it looks up at you. Summon me.
Hey, I was wondering if you could like skim across the surface of the water here and see if we can find any tunnels that way, pointing to the direction that we came from.
Sure, I guess. I'll be back. And it kind of sinks underneath and just octopus swims, fighting against the current a little bit before finding its stride and swimming out of sight. Lou, you have your torch up and ready, and immediately all the lights dim out because, with the introduction of a new source of light, they don't need to shine. Everything in the cave outside of the radius of the torchlight just becomes dark. And even the lake water itself becomes dark as this introduction of external light source appears. Because bioluminescence requires darkness, and it's not dark, so why do they need to glow? And Lou just looks at this little chunk of something in his hand. And Lou, as you look at it, make another history check because you have a light up and going.
History.
So 17.
17. Yes.
You stare at it closer, and you kind of hold the light to it, and kind of put some force into it because you have gauntlets on. You put some force into it, and it kind of caves a little bit, and perform different like little whatever you can because I don't think you have an artisan's toolkit on you, do you?
I have a smith tools.
That would not really help you here. You would need different type of tool proficiency in your inventory.
I have musket, tinderbox, bedroll, smith tools.
You don't have it.
Nope.
Let's see.
I just wanted to confirm if introduced in light, does it actually take that rainbow color or not? If it does,
So
then I will
the
collect.
rainbow color of adamantium, of unrefined, unprocessed adamantine, or adamant, it has a has a glossy black appearance when you look at it in straight, direct light. The rainbow glow that it normally gets is unique to very specific reflections. So you don't actually see a rainbow glow by looking at it with light on it. It's actually, you would see it when looking at it through a reflection. But it does have a glossy black coloration, almost like obsidian, but it has a different hardness to it. It's a little more brittle and it breaks a little bit more easily. And you, as far as you can tell, this kind of matches every description you're aware of adamant.
So I will put out my torch, so because I don't need it anymore, and collect as much as raw adamantium as I can.
These are literally the tiniest nuggets of the stuff.
I want enough for. I will I can't find enough for a weapon, but I can find enough for
Something possibly.
I wanted to create
Uh,
the amulet of Behemoth with that
make
adamantium.
a investigation check as you dig through the walls and try to find more of this stuff. Seal that at this time your control water spell has officially ended, and your wild companion still hasn't come back.
I've been watching through his eyes. If yeah,
Goes
and
on for 100 feet. That's the normal range of that ability actually, which is why the spider was quite interesting, though we didn't expand upon that. 100 feet, and then you feel your awareness kind of get pulled back because it's the normal limits of this ability. It just continues onward. But you do notice it does poke its head out occasionally, but it just bumps against ceiling, or there's no other land. So it's 100 feet out from where you are. There doesn't seem to be any other stopping points.
am I still able? Let me see it. I think I'm still able to communicate with it telepathically. About where
Within
it's at
100 feet.
up to, but I could still be within his. Like I could still see through his vision, greater than that, or no?
Find
'Cause
familiar.
I remember in Critical Role they had that same question about Frumpkin, and I think
IMO.
that's. I don't know if you'd roll it the same way or not.
Your familiar is with 100 feet of you. You can communicate it with it. You can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining the benefits of any special senses it has during this time. You are deafened and blinded regards to your own Ow, actually. Okay,
Doesn't
so the
specify what the range is on
the
seeing through.
telepathy is 100 feet, but the seeing through its senses is infinite, I guess.
That's how they rolled it on Critical Role.
So yeah,
But
you can keep looking through its vision apparently as it keeps swimming, just keeps swimming, just keeps swimming, and poking its head out occasionally. There's a couple spots that at first seem promising, but are really just like small divots, not really tunnels or new cave systems. Until about, you'd reckon at its speed, maybe like 300 feet away. Finally, finally, space, a cave of some sort. It seems like a tunnel, but to the octopus's eyes, does it have dark vision? Does it?
yes,
Okay. Through its eyes, you notice
30.
that the walls of this tunnel it's in kind of are coated. They're like almost, I wouldn't say slimy, but there's like a almost glossy kind of look to them. The tunnel itself is pretty massive, especially in relation to the octopus. So that's all you've gotten so far. Do you want it to? Well, I mean, you did say once it's found something to return, so it returns very slowly until it reaches that 100 feet mark. And at this point, you can start telepathically communicating with it again as it starts getting closer to you. Lou, you get an 11 on investigation.
Plus 12 for inspiration, if it's not
You'll.
enough.
I mean, if you want to use your inspiration, go ahead.
I will use my inspiration, so it's 23 actually.
D12. It's a D12. You roll a D12.
Oh, right. New guy. That's 8, so 19.
19 total. Okay, you find, as far as you can tell, you find a lot of little bitty chunks, and there just seems to keep on going, buddy.
I will.
71 tiny ass little nuggets, like grain, like slightly, like maybe pebble sized nuggets of possibly adamant.
With my knowledge of that this is unrefined, if I refine this, is it enough for me to create a symbol of Behemoth with it?
Possibly, yes.
Then I'm done.
It's very
Those
tiny, but
penny
there
press
seems to be enough of it.
machines,
Oh,
like one of those penny press machines.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I will. If I find anything else, I will collect it. If not, then I'm good.
hey, I mean, there's plenty all over the place. Most of the struggle of the investigation check is determining is this real or is it fake.
So I will collect as much as I can until
Mhm.
Sioda is done.
Yeah, you can, I guess, make another investigation check to renew your efforts.
To
Investigation.
confirm, what I saw through the octopus's eyes was a different cave system from what we went down, or where
Yes,
we.
very different,
There was a
very different.
second. There's a okay.
Ooh,
There's a pocket.
That's 20. And I am out of luck.
so that as Lou continues to quite feverishly dig through the walls of this, the octopus enters the 100-foot range of your telepathy. Is there anything you'd like to say to it?
What did you find? You found that cave. Could you climb out of it and see if you find anything? If you
Oh,
wanted to go back.
uh, sure, I guess. I don't really have anything else to do. And it kind of turns around. You get the sensation of like a little bit of a huff as it turns around the water and
Ah,
swims back towards that tunnel system. Lou, you have found another. You actually, in your digging, at some point you grab your longsword. You kind of give like a stab and a bit of a wrench in the wall, and a large section of it just kind of crumbles and tears down and falls apart. And you sift through this much faster method. And you sift through and you find another 114 tiny little nuggets of what could possibly be adamantine.
I will keep digging.
At this point, Theo, as he's still digging, hold on, as he's still digging. Actually, yeah, that wouldn't be enough. Anyway, as he's still digging, and he creates that section of the wall, and you're oblivious to this, the little octopus familiar kind of bloop, pops up into the tunnel, enters it. You see through its eyes as it kind of walks around tunnel floor, and you feel the sensation that it feels of like the ground is firm and almost glossy, and with the suckers on its tentacles, it doesn't really get much purchase. Like it doesn't get to attach to anything, so it's just moving itself by force of motion. And as it continues onwards for quite a distance, before hitting a massive branch of like maybe 5 other tunnels leading in different directions, some up, some down, some left, some right, yada yada yada. And it hears, and you hear, very faintly, like a rumbling sensation. Just kind of you feel it through its body, just a very faint rumble.
am I able to look upwards?
Looks upwards. A perception check as you're looking through dark vision, which is still shades of black and gray. Ooh, you see a pitch black tunnel directly above, and at first you don't see anything at all, and then quite suddenly there's a motion. You kind of focus your eyes and squint with your awareness as the octopus is also kind of squinting and just looking up slowly. And then you hear,
The
and then a
image of
massive hand reaches down and squishes the octopus until it pops.
Fucking terrifying.
the image of like a octopus squinting is really funny for me for
If
some
you've ever seen
reason.
Finding Dory, perfect expressions.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
as your awareness suddenly gets slammed back into your normal body, and you're just like, "Oh, that happened." There's a shift in the atmosphere as the lights are back on because Lou extinguished his torch, so all the glowing bits are back, and all the moss and the strange things up in the ceiling and in the lake are glowing at full force again, and the lake no longer has that glossy black mirror texture. You feel like a breeze, not physically. You feel like a breeze pushing against your minds, like the tide gently pushing, pulling with the undertow against your minds and your thoughts. And you get a sensation of just like a little like an almost drowsiness as something kind of gently massages your brains. And you'll feel yourselves compelled to look out towards the water. And out in the distance, you see a black shape underneath the surface. And the water doesn't churn, but you see it moving and rippling as whatever it is slowly starting to approach. Make in make wisdom saves, both of you.
Wisdom
Saving throw.
saving throw. Yeah,
Incredible.
that's a
Lou,
blow.
the pounding in the back of your head it becomes louder again, like a hammer blow to your mind. So your vision kind of doesn't flit out, but you find it difficult to look in that direction. It's hard to pinpoint details. You just like feel like a sense of drowsiness, and you kind of almost stagger a little bit. And Sioda, you don't stagger, but you do feel a push and a pull become stronger against your minds until almost like something is holding your minds tightly, but in a caress almost. And you hear, "What are you doing here?"
What the fuck? Did you hear that?
Trespassers, why are you here?
We are here because undead attacked the city. We are to investigate that.
Lou, because you failed so miserably, you feel like something is reaching into your brain and scooping a piece out and pulling it back, and taint of death came through here. Yes, you track it or you work with it.
I am a paladin of Behemoth, so I am definitely not working for it.
You feel a searing hot pain like a pickaxe jabbing into your mind. The gods are nothing. Do not speak their names in this place. State your purpose before I eat you.
We are trying to find the source of undead. Also, who are you again? I am Lou. Who are you?
Pinching the ridge of her nose at this point.
See how the sensation on your brain is more gentle, mostly because you're able to resist it better. But it's not harsh. You don't understand what's happening to Lou. Lou, you feel like white hot knives raking against the inside of your skull when this creature kind of got angry at the mention of your god.
How?
It doesn't deal damage, but oh boy, that hurts. And the pulsing in the back of your head starts getting louder and more insistent.
Hey,
I am Joran. I have existed since before the gods. You come to my home. I hope for your sake you leave before I change my mind. And Lou, your perception actually starts to waver. It's like a massive heat mirage as everything in your vision suddenly starts shifting and changing. Bad enough to steal from the home, but worse still to mention the defilers in my presence.
We just. Do you know where the undead went or where they came from? If you can point us in that direction, we will happily leave you alone and go away from your home.
Could not be certain you would not
bring your foul believers to this place. Perhaps I should just kill you now.
And you feel the white hot knives kind of dig into your mind as you actually start feeling intense pain and your visions start whiting out as it threatens you.
There is nothing here for us. Also, there's kind of like very hard to get here. So
Make another wisdom say. No, no. A deception check.
I am telling the truth. So is it deception still, or
It
is
would
it
still be deception.
persuasion? Maybe.
Nope.
Nope.
And you feel
Then why do you take from my home?
and you feel your mind your consciousness dragged, and you in your entire mind's eye you just see the nuggets that you had held in your hands.
Didn't
I know
know.
not.
Didn't
I know
know.
not what this rock is, but if it's important to you, you should have asked, child of the gods.
Didn't know. I'm sorry. Didn't know this was your home, and someone was living in it. If you're not okay with it, I will put it back. But if you're okay, I will want to take these with me, please.
Uh, ooh, what is your greatest desire? Finding the sword?
Mm, kind of, but my greatest desire is freedom from my obligations, my father's kind of responsibilities that my father is forcing into me. But the sword is kind of finding the
A
sword.
big part of that.
Yeah, is a big part of that.
You feel as the creature starts like opening your brain, and it's literally like feels like your mind is being pulled at the seams, and it starts rifling through your memories, and you see flashes of your home, of Celestina, of your family, your father, and the legends of you've heard your entire life of the sword of Bahamut and your quest that your self-imposed quest to find this item. And it rifles through your mind a little bit more before finally you feel like your mind closes shut and it feels like it's being sewn back together. And you feel the desire to pass out, but something's keeping you conscious. And just,
I've no care for the gods, but I can sense your single-minded pursuit. Very well. You speak not of this place, and I will grant you what you may find in my home.
and then to Sioda, who's been able to resist it, it pulses against your mind again and says,
You, what are you?
The caves, like I believe you are. Not to piss off. I am known by Siora.
it starts very. What's your greatest desire?
What she subconsciously she wants to know where she came from. Consciously, um, probably actively right now because she lives by the moment to rid whatever made her so uncomfortable before with the orb.
Ooh, it rifles through your memories, and because the orb is the thing you're focusing on the most outside of your desire for, your other main desire, and it focuses on that memory for quite a while.
Know this piece. Where?
And it starts digging through your mind more, and you feel almost like it's slowly pulling at a strand from your mind, gently pulling a string of memory of the orb and where you found it, and Meshuda, and the notice of pain that your companions went through to open it, and then finally that massive map, and then you see again the map, the area, dark stars, planets around you, and then a massive rent pulling the sky, and then a tear in reality that becomes an eye filled with teeth, and it screams psychically, and it fills you with fear, and it marks you. And actually, as you look with your eyes, you feel the sensation in your body chill, and you feel a moment of more than a moment of panic as your eyes, your vision suddenly, very slowly from the edges, seeping inwards, starts to go black.
I know this.
And you, without wanting to, get a close up of this eye, this rift, and you suddenly get the sensation of standing atop a blank, vast nothingness. And you look for, and there's nothing around you but faint stars and the massive rift towering far, far above what you could possibly see, even if you were to throw yourself back and lay down, continuing almost to infinity, upwards and downwards. And straight ahead, the massive, inky black iris of this thing. Teeth clamping and champing and muttering in the dark, but you can't hear anything.
I do know this.
What is this?
And you start feeling sensation of pain as you're staring at this for longer and longer, and see how that your vision almost completely turns into just the pinpoints of color of dark vision before it suddenly eases, and the blackness eases away. The vision disappears, and you can suddenly see again. You have to blink because your eyes feel like they've been open for years and they're sore and dry.
I have seen this before. Kin of my own, but not of my kind. Something seeks this world, but I know not why. What you wish, child of dirt.
And it pulses like that towards Lou, and Lou, the connection snaps away, and the white hot pain is still there, but it's beginning to subside as the creature leaves your mind raw and harmed, but otherwise untouched, thankfully, as it releases you from its compulsion. You just hear,
You may take what you may find, but approach not the water down here, lest I get hungry.
Thank you.
Child of earth and shadow, I feel another god creeping into your will, not quite taking possession. Spider whose web seeks to entangle, but I know not why. And that the eye of another, from a realm far beyond this, far beyond the Feywild where you draw your strength, far beyond the earth that you stand. Something else. I know not who, I know not their name. I just know that that is what it could be. And I sense its mark upon both of you. A mark of body, and a mark of mind and heart, and a third, but they are too far for me to reach here. Here's something else entirely.
and the black shape slowly begins to sink underneath the waves. So that you still have a bit of a connection to it mentally, though it's like it's just, you can feel it slowly beginning to weaken as it slowly moves. Is there anything you want to do as it begins to withdraw its influence? Is there anything you want to say?
Mm,
No legion to the undead here.
No, not at all.
We are
I prefer the silence, the darkness, and death. Ain't
are seeking to destroy them? If you could
I,
choose.
I know not of these creatures or what created them. I just know that they were here and left quickly, controlled by something or someone, but they are too far for me to reach, so I can tell you no more to that end. But, child of night, tell me, do you wish to be free of this mark?
And it waits for a response.
He's
Yeah.
talking to Sioda, I think. Yes?
Siota very specifically.
Yeah.
Actually, we could move to the Whispers channel. It's like, Lou, you get because of the impact it left. Like, you're actually catching snippets of this part of the conversation, uh, from just the. It wasn't very nice coming in. It wasn't very nice leaving. So there's like a partially open door that lets you hear the snippets, but they slowly begin to fade out of perception.
Can I hold on to
Siota,
it?
you can't. Like it, your mind is healing itself. Also, you notice that that pounding in the back of your head is getting a little stronger and is also kind of almost helping seal that shut. Can't quite place why. It's just that strange feeling of almost terror that your magic actively resists,
Can
but
I
it's still there.
can I answer instead of Sioda and say yes? I want to remove the mark. It makes me
You
uncomfortable.
say it in your mind, but you don't get a response. As far as you know, it might be one way. Because the creature itself has chosen to end its communication with you, partially due to your affiliation with the gods. You're hearing echoes of its conversation with Siota that are quickly healing over, but it doesn't seem like it's actively paying attention to you.
Okay, then I just say thank you, take care, out loud,
Yeah, like
and
you're like yes, and then it's like yeah, and the shadow slowly begins to sink until it just barely disappears. Siota, can I get you in the whisper channel?
ooh, whispers,
Whispers.
whispers.
Goodbye.
Bye. Whispers. Hold on. Yeah, they are in the whisper channel. What they are saying. Yeah, we have to do something about this. Maybe, maybe I will let Trombar in the in the YouTube channel. Maybe give him access, so he records things on his end, then uploads them on the YouTube channel. Maybe that will work. I don't know, because things like this, they have to be on the video. Yeah, we have to do something about that. And until they come back, I will look at my spell book, I guess. Hold on. What the? Huh? Why is it 5, 7 spells? It should be it's 5 plus 4 or 3. Uh, it's half your level plus 3, so it's must be 8, not 7. So I can actually take magic weapon. Yep. Spill in the channel.
Hey, Luke,
Hey, what's up?
you watch as you kind of turn towards Sioda, because she looked very pensive, almost like she was still having a conversation, like her head was scrunched in concentration. And then you watch as her eyes suddenly kind of roll to the back of her head, and then she staggers backwards, and then stands up straight. And she kind of clears, like blinks a few times. And she looks around her, mildly disoriented.
You are okay? What happened?
Mhm. I think so. I think I'm fine. She looked back out towards the water. I assume the connection is gone at this point.
It seems to have sunk away from vision into the water and from your mind. Though you still feel like an impulse, like a coating, like a film on your tongue, but on your brain, just like a caress that reminds you that it's still there. Maybe you're not sure.
She would just think out loud to herself. Um, should you ever require my assistance, I'm sure you will be able to contact me.
There's just a light tinge of amusement, something akin to amusement. It's not quite the same, but it's there.
And nods at that, and then turns back towards Lou.
What happened? Did she, or he, or whatever that
It,
was, uh, did Ed remove the mark for you?
Um, I'll find that out later.
What did he say? What did it say actually? Did it give us like a method of removing it, or did it remove it for you?
He contacted me and made a promise, from what I could tell. But I'll tell you tomorrow if I can tell if it's gone or not.
Okay. What do you want to
Because that's the
do?
only way.
Go back?
Well, um, I was scouting out the way we came because we were mostly on the ground floor of that river, and there were some other passages that we missed along the roof of it. And I was using uh, my familiar was ambushed by there's like this really tall like pit in the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and a hand fell from the ceiling and destroyed my familiar. I wasn't able to look any further than that.
Do you want to go there?
But well, ominous hands tend to be uh, a good sign of where to keep going, I think. But I think we might want to. I
Rest.
don't know how you're feeling right now. If we'd want to rest or not here. but the longer we rest, the further they may go. If they feel like their position's been compromised or not, or they might feel like they're safe where they're at. I don't know.
I mean, I hold on, let me just look at my spell book. I say I am good to go. So if you want to rest, we can rest. If you want to go, we can go. That depends on you. I'm in fighting shape if that's what you mean. But since you have to use your magic hands to make our way, it depends on you if you have like the power and mental fortitude to cast your spells. Then we go. If not, we rest.
Probably keep going.
Okay, lead the bay. And he just
Going back up those steps. She'd probably get up there and then cast water walk. Not water walk, sorry. I'm distracted right now. But where is it? I just saw it.
shape water.
No,
Control water.
Water
Water
breathing.
breathing. Right.
Water
Yeah.
breathing, yeah.
Control water is our GTFO spell now.
Going toward the ominous hand. First it
I
was
assume
a dick in a box. Now it's a hand in a cave.
Incredible. The progression.
yeah.
The
I just imagine it's like
evolution.
that hand from like what was it? Super Smash Bros.
The master hand.
The master hand.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Did we get any kind of like imagery of how this creature looks like?
He did not. He just spoke from a distance.
But
Mentally.
but it
Ethically.
came into our mind and saw everything. He
Oh
wanted.
yes. It was not very polite as it went through all your memories.
But he talked about being older than the gods.
Yes.
Can I talk to Behemoth real quick?
You can try and make a religion check, although if you want to do it in this cave, that's going to be interesting.
Hmm. Actually,
So,
you know
Yoda
what?
doesn't know crap about religion. She's never heard of any entities like this. I
Mhm.
assume.
You are a nature person.
Actually, let's just get out of the cave. Then I will contact Behemoth because last time I mentioned Behemoth, this creature was not happy.
It's 11.
Happy birthday, Rhode
My birthday is on the 5th.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Yay.
Okay.
That's
Almost there.
that's why he was asking, right?
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's 11 p.m. for us here, but his
Yeah.
Xbox is still set for Rhode Island time, which is an hour ahead, so he thought it was midnight.
Incredible. You done goofed, fool?
Yeah.
You done
Alright.
goofed.
I
So the roll for your water breathing.
but
Actually, you know what? I will do contact Bahamut at the very edge of this cave. So I want, I
he'll probably
want,
Yeah.
cast it. Fiona would wait for him to cast it and then cast water breathing.
Yeah. I mean, last 24 hours, so it doesn't matter.
I want to cast it like at the very edge of the cave.
Yeah.
So I wanted,
Good stuff.
I want, but I want Behemoth to kind of feel where I am. So if he wants, he can sense that creature, and I will
Make
ask.
a religion check.
And I will ask of him that if he knows this creature or about the mark, the pulsing in the back of my head. Religion.
Ooh,
21.
ooh! You call upon Bahamut in this cave of wonders, and you you immediately feel the pulsing in the as you draw attention to it. You feel the pulsing in the back of your head grow, and it suddenly starts to become more ordered like a heartbeat. Just boom, boom, boom. You very, very faintly hear a distant, like just a distant roar in your mind. And then the heart boom, 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 starts getting quieter, but still keeps beating, but it seems a little quieter almost after that roar. Nothing else.
Does that roar sound like a dragon roar?
I mean, you've never heard a dragon.
Okay.
How old is Lou?
What
How old
was
is Lou?
Lou is he is 50. He was 40 when he started in the scouts,
Yeah.
and it's been
There
10
is
years.
absolutely no way you would have ever heard a dragon.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was Bahamut or not.
Or the creature that you were just talking to in the
Yeah,
cave.
it's either Bahamut or that creature.
Either way, it's just like, maybe I shouldn't be here any longer.
Yeah,
You feel like a
go,
sense of
go,
nervousness
go.
creep up.
Like,
Yoink.
move!
The other cast water breathing, and you both kind of swan dive or just stride jump into the waters and begin making your way back up.
Mickey Mommy!
The You continue on back the way you came for 100 feet, 200 feet, no difference. And then you hit the 300 feet mark that Siola would recognize as where the octopus was, roughly. Walls here are still steep. They seem climbable enough, but they're very steep.
Can I attempt to climb it?
You are both underwater, so you can't really talk to each other. So if you want, you can start climbing.
No, I'm talking to DM.
Yoda would have gotten to that point and begun to climb.
So,
For not being able to communicate to Lou that this is the spot.
so I will just
Not normal.
go up behind her.
So
Yep.
Athletic?
Yes.
20.
Ooh. Okay, Siola, your turn.
Also, I have my wolf with me.
Terrible. Siola struggles to
that's over.
climb. She's not the strongest lass.
Did I make it?
Oh yes, you made it just fine. You
So,
see Siola is kind of struggling to get up.
so I
But you are now in dry ground, in a tunnel of some sort.
on the next try of Sioda, I will just put my hand in the water and just mention gesture with my hand to come and get my hand. So she will have advantage on the next one.
Yeah, she'd kind of grab his arm, yank herself up, and then use the momentum to push up onto his shoulder and kick off of it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
really poetic.
Yeah, you kind of make it, just barely. You almost fall all the way back down, but Lou managed to catch like your finger, and you're able to pull yourself up.
Like with the 19 strength, I can kind of push him up with one finger from the bottom.
Incredible.
What
So
about my
yes, you're now
wolf?
in a new cave system. Uh, what do you want to do? I
Just
will also note that I mean, does everyone want to take a water break? We've been at it for a couple hours.
I have water with myself. Do you
Mine
want
mixing up
to
with
take a water
coffee.
break?
I'm just asking to see how everyone's feeling.
I'm just saying,
Because we
there's
usually use power
that
dinner.
the voice of the god thing.
Yeah.
You probably want to drink some water even if you're not thirsty.
Yeah, I said we take like 5 minutes break, but before we do that, that was fucking amazing, man.
A plus.
That was fucking amazing. I will see you guys in 5 minutes.
You can pause the recording, right?
Yes, I will do that now.
Boobies.
So now that you're in this tunnel area, what do you want to do?
Having reached the surface here, um, I first thing I would do is survey the area and cast Pact without trace.
Cool. Do the rolls.
Uh, Lou takes a kind of like a defensive stance because of
Mhm.
the whole the ominous hand thing, and just opens up his shield slowly with one hand so it doesn't make a sound,
Hmm.
and draws his sword.
Make your stealth checks, both of you.
See, although it looks the same as it did with through your familiar's eyes. It's dark, and there's a glossy texture to the walls, floors, and ceiling that doesn't seem natural. Well, at least, sorry, it seems like it might have been a byproduct from a creature, but it doesn't seem like a natural rock formation.
Um, mm,
Yeah, we did poorly. Both of us did poorly.
Okay. 24 and 13.
Make your way. Which way?
if
Forward or
I
backward?
I'm following
if
Sioda.
there's like even like any kind of dip in the rock or like any kind of small rock, uh, that would be able to put like some kind of barrier between me and where I perceive that hole in the ceiling to be.
Hmm.
It's fairly uniform here. There's no outcroppings of rock.
Then shoot. Um, looking down that hallway, I don't see anything besides just like dips in ceiling.
Darkness.
Just darkness, just dips in ceiling. Do I hear anything? I didn't hear anything for my perception check.
Nope. It
Alright.
seems quiet, except for the sound of the river beneath you.
Theodora would start hugging the wall and trying to move around that hole in the ceiling she saw before.
Lou follows her.
Theodora would try to be at least 20 feet ahead of Lou. But if he's mounted, he would outpace her. So
Are you
Uh,
on your wolf?
yes.
Your wolf has survived the trip so far. You continue forward.
Actually, Lou.
rolling stealth for the wolf too.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
Uh, Actually, Lou travels at half speed, so
The wolf
it
moves behind Siola.
yeah. So the Lou can follow Sioda because Sioda has scouted this place. Also, how many? I got 211 nuggets, right?
No, it's in your inventory.
It was a 17 and 140.
So 185 total.
Oh, 14, not 140. 114.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Uh, where is it in my? Oh yeah, found it. Also, you have to add that worm, purple worm scales to my inventory too. I have like,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah.
Okay. So what do you want to do as you start slowly moving through this cave, trying not to make any noise? Tunnel system.
I'm creeping around that hand, trying to see if there's any movement coming from there, and just detecting traps as we go down this tunnel and seeing where it leads.
Lou silently follows Sioda behind her with
The
his shield.
quietest paladin.
Yeah, as quiet as a paladin in full armor can be.
With your wolf mount, and you continue forward until you reach that precise spot the octopus familiar was destroyed. You look around, you look up and down, make your perception checks, both of you.
Perception. Oh,
Yoda's still shaken up.
A little bit as you get closer to it. From the previous encounter, you saw through creature with the octopus's eye, and just overall that tension of like, oh, I'm heading towards the spot.
Ominous beings in general are kind of giving her the skeevies.
You stare up, looking, scouring the darkness for signs of movement. See nothing. Lou, you look through all the other tunnels, up, down, oh, down, left, right, forward, back, sideways, diagonal. You don't see any movement whatsoever, but you do hear very faintly, if you put your ear against one of the walls, you can hear a rhythmic sound of like a rustling, rumbling through the earth. Something digging, perhaps, but nothing else. Seems to be heading farther away, though. But it's hard to pinpoint what direction it's coming from given the structure of caves.
can I use my stone cunning to help with that?
That only helps with stones. This is a tracking thing.
Okay.
Like more of
My
an archaeology
yeah.
situation.
Right now, Sioda is shaken, but Lou is just getting warmed up. His scout training is kicking in.
Your paladin magic is keeping both of you from being frightened.
So I will motion to Sioda and kind of like mention to her to listen to the sound and tell her if can you maybe find where this is coming from.
Um, if I look on the floor, are there any evidence of tracks? If I listen, do I hear any sounds
Make
coming from deeper?
a survival check.
Can I help with that?
Can help, yes. So Ciarla gets advantage on the survival check.
Thing work.
Rolls 50 times.
Because like most of the time it'll let me do it like within the browser, but if it's like something at the bottom of the list, I have to pop it out and then it needs to load.
Hmm.
Boom.
That's
You are
21.
able to discern very faintly little marks in the strange glossy coating of the cave tunnel walls. And they seem to be everywhere, heading in every direction, heading into every tunnel. It seems like a lot more than just one. It seems like a hive, perhaps, of many somethings constantly moving. That also explains the strange texture as these, whatever these things are, move constantly through the tunnels. they're pounding the dirt smooth, and whatever, as far as you can tell, the glossiness is probably caused by some form of excretion from their bodies, or just in case they molt. If they have a molting process, that could also explain the strange residue as it
What is
leaves their
molting?
bodies and then they. Molting is something that reptiles and insects share in common, and even birds. It's when you shed the outer layer of skin or chitin or feather to make way for new growths. So for
Hmm.
Sioda's case, and you, well, since you're helping both for both of you, it's quite plausible that whatever these creatures are have some form of molting process, and then as these flakes of whatever eggs leave their bodies, they get trampled and pressed into the tunnels, and that's what gives it that glossy residue.
Do you want to follow this residue?
What was the we? I'm sorry. We were the creature. We weren't able to figure out what the creature was, but it was. I'm sorry.
We were trying to find out where it was going with the sound, but I think we didn't get anything.
Mhm.
So we just have that glossy. We have to
The
find,
skeleton on the
yeah,
floor.
we have to find where the floor is, like the glossiness is newer, so it's like fresher.
Oh.
Maybe that way we can find out where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I'd be keeping an eye out on the floor to see if there's any more slightly intact molted skins or samples that I would be able to identify where they came from or what animal they came from.
Make a nature check. You.
Liu is also looking for like a fresh kind of glossy
Ooh.
services.
I think it's
Make
something that would be intact,
a.
even if it's old, as long as it's in one piece, is what I
Yeah.
was looking for.
I mean, you could help Sioda.
Yeah, I will help Sioda. It's better that way.
So
22.
22, you're able to find a couple patches that seem, if not new, at least less stepped on. So there's a fairly intact, and you pull it away, and it's like a patch. It's like a small patch, thin, feather light, kind of translucent, and it looks like fleck, like a. I mean, the closest description would literally be like a skin flake, but several times bigger. It has a texture to it as you hold it, and a stiffness to it, even given how thin it is, that leads you to believe it might be some sort of insectoid creature's byproduct.
Uh, do I, with my knowledge of smithing, uh, can I use this material in crafting armor?
Just stepping on it is causing it to dissolve into the floor.
Yeah, it's very fragile. It's not. It wouldn't be useful.
Okay.
The molt. Molting is like literally the byproduct of a creature's growth process. It's pretty much useless.
Yeah.
You would need to figure out if the actual whatever is useful, and then you would need to harvest it in order to see, can I use this to forge things?
Yeah.
You don't
Like
know
you
because you
could
don't have enough clues.
like the human equivalent is like um when you scratch your skin and you have like
Dandruff.
nail. Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just yeah, just the byproduct, the oils and the
Like you could probably
flakes.
make a pretty decent suit of armor out of human skin, but just not off of the stuff that's off of like dust. Dust would be a lot harder.
No, but I just Lou was thinking maybe because it's bigger, that makes it a bit more durable. Maybe like a uh, under armor letter, but maybe not.
It's like rice paper that's already wet.
Yeah.
I'm imagining.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving towards the
Yes.
fresh part. We are following the creature.
Yeah, we're heading down this same path
You head down the path that seems to have the freshest samples, and you continue forward. Make another. Another perception check to kind of listen out to see if there's any signs. Good.
Perception.
Yoda would also be
That's a good-
aware of any, or trying to be aware of any kind of webbing or sensory mechanisms on the floor.
You continue forward. Excuse me. There's another. You continue forward. There seems to be no signs of like any sort of trapping thing for creatures that you're used to. Anyway,
Lou is thinking about smithing and materials.
uh, you come across another branch. This time going one very wide tunnel going up, and a very wide tunnel going down. Both of them have a bit of an angle, so they're not like a completely vertical surface. And you still hear just that light, distant rumbling sound. Still hard to pinpoint.
Can I help Sioda find more like fresh patches of molting?
That's if she wants to.
Um, I'd glance around to see if there's any larger chunks, but I wouldn't spend more time really digging through it.
We're just trying to find where we're supposed to go.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't really have anything for this kind of stuff. I just keep going down this tunnel if I'm unable to perceive. Do I perceive what direction this trembling is coming from?
Nope.
Just deep down or all around?
It's far enough away that the vibrations kind of diffuse into the surroundings, so you can't actually tell what direction's coming from.
Can I
If
tell?
going towards like the wall of the cave, is it damp or anything like that?
Nope. Same glossy texture.
If I cast produce flame just to have like a small light, is what color are the walls?
It reflects the light of the flame. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Doesn't seem to show any other changes.
Okay. What color is the skin?
Brownish gold color.
Okay. All right. I guess as I have not seen any teeth around the opening of this maw, I shall continue.
Lou, what did you want to do?
I wanted to do like an investigation to find out which one looks more fresh than the other one. If I
Go ahead.
if there is no difference, I'm gonna do a coin flip. Investigation. Investigation or perception? Which one?
Investigation, because you're actively poking through. Ooh,
That's 16.
you do find a couple that seem a little, at least a little bit fresher.
Which way is it? Is it down or
Heading,
up?
heading down.
Heading down. Sioda,
We're going down.
we go down.
Yeah.
We go down.
Yep. Yep. Going
Moving
down.
forward, I take the
She
front
chose
position.
down.
Probably a little bit more quiet than that.
She
Uh,
chose down. Yay!
Yeah. Lou takes the front position. Now walks about 25 feet in front of Sioda. Is still in like a defensive position and actively watching out for any sign of danger.
Mm-mm. You continue onwards. Make another perception check, both of you.
Perception.
Still being sneaky. If we want to roll stealth at this point.
You both. No, mostly Sienna, because that's a high roll. Lou, you can hear the rumblings getting a little bit louder now that you're down here. You seem to be getting closer to the source. Sioda, you can quite definitely tell as you reach another junction for like a three-way crossroads, straight ahead to the left or the right. There's a sound coming not on the left side.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah?
Okay,
Are
left
you saying?
side. The sound is not coming from left side. Then you cut
Wait.
out.
Oh, okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Sioda hears that the sound seems to be coming from the left side.
Oh, coming from the left side. Okay.
Yeah. Sierra would just point down that way and beckon Lou to follow her down that path.
Lou,
Make stealth checks.
Lou will, Lou will follow her, trying to
Make your
be
stealth checks.
in front.
Ooh.
Sierra wouldn't outpace him if he's trying to outpace her. If he outpaces her, then she'd fall back 20 feet.
Also, we have like a pass without trace.
Mm-hmm.
What's
You get
that range? Range of that spell? 30 feet?
30 feet.
30 feet for allies only.
Yeah, so we just try to stay in that circle.
Yeah. You get closer. And the sound gets louder. And you continue forward. And you start noticing that there seems to be more than one sound. And they're just kind of around you. Not close, but around. It's a light rumbling. You don't see any changes in this tunnel where you're at, so they don't seem to be here, or the junction where that might be coming from isn't nearby yet.
Question,
So as far as
DM.
you can tell, there's some distance. Yes.
What is the height of this cave or tunnel? Like from the
This
floor to
tunnel,
the ceiling?
this tunnel that you are in, is about 5 feet wide and 8 feet high.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So not very big.
Nope. You can still fit even on your wolf because you're not that big. You can still comfortably
Mm-hmm.
mount your wolf. Continue forward. The rumbling slowly getting louder, and you can start to feel now the light vibrations. Little bits of dirt just kind of fall on the ceiling occasionally as these sounds continue. Then eventually they start one by one to stop until it's quiet.
How many sounds did go out before it was totally quiet? Did
It
you
is
get
hard to tell. There's more than one, and you don't know if there's an echo thing going on or what.
can I
There was at
estimate like
least a
a
few.
ballpark, like more than one, less than like five, something like that?
Maybe more than four.
Okay.
And are you all still gonna keep moving?
I'm still
Yeah.
keep moving.
Is there anything? Do I see anything like on the ceiling as we're passing through?
Nope. The occasional bit of dirt falling has stopped, but the glossy textures are the same as always.
I am moving forward unless Yoda stops.
Um, if I like look at like the tunnel we're in, can I determine if it's like structurally stable seeming?
It's quite stable.
Okay. Alrighty. We're stealthing forward, perceptioning forward.
Make your yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say make your perception checks.
Oh. Heck, that could have been a nat 20 on perception.
Yep.
Incredible.
Did a nat one on stealth.
A nat 20 and a nat 1.
So they even out, right?
As you walk, Sioda, you're like a ghost. padding
Lou
along.
insists on going forward.
Lou is just his wolf is trying, but it just keeps like stepping on rocks and knocking things over with his big old. And it's kind of like breathing through its big old nose
Also, my
as it
armor.
sniffs around. As it sniffs around, and see that you just very faintly, as you focus around, you stay hyper alert,
Feeling my
super
brain.
duper stealthy. As Lou's moving and the wolf is moving, and with every step of its padded feet it makes, you get the faintest sensation as you focus. Another light rumbling just slowly inches in your direction because it does get a little bit louder as time passes, but it's so faint. If you didn't roll a nat 20, I'm sorry, if you didn't roll a 27 total, you would have missed it. I mean, it seems to be headed roughly in Lou's direction. He is like 20 feet ahead of you.
Louis is like in those cartoons that are like whistling and just moving forward, and something is coming
Lou,
for me.
Lou,
Yeah, what's up?
something's coming at you.
Where? And just his eyes go out, like open completely. Where is it coming from?
The wolf still trods on.
I saw where it's coming from, right? Or
Sensed.
You feel the vibrations heading closer, but you still can't tell exactly what direction.
Stop, boy! Stop, Wildfire! Stop!
Stops. Just kind of looks around slowly and sniffs.
do I still feel it coming? I still feel it coming.
You felt it stop. He stopped. As you sit there and wait, Lou, you still don't you don't feel this at all. You know that you register that after a little while, it does start moving again, and still getting closer.
Rumbling.
Very faint rumbling. You feel it in your feet, basically. Very, very faint.
I whisper in the Wildfire's ears to be ready to jump out of the way if anything comes at us. So
You staying mounted?
yeah, maybe like a dodge action.
You stay focused. You listen. Still don't hear it, but Ciola gets the look of nervousness on her face as that the faint rumbling gets closer and closer. Let's see. The wolf is gonna make a dexterity saving throw. Disadvantage because you're on top of it. There's a rumble and the rumble stops. And then there's a loud crashing noise and the wolf starts, and in that motion of starting it actually kind of hops to the side a little bit and stares down where its feet were, just in time to see a massive clawed hand burst through the ground underneath where it was before quickly sinking back under the ground. And you hear as suddenly multiple loud rumbles begin to move through the earth towards you, and you can register at least 4 sounds rushing towards you as you can hear from the hole directly where the hand was.
Is the hole is like covered, or is it just a hole? Did it?
It's a hole.
Can I poke in it like with my sword?
Sure, make an attack roll, I guess. Click stab with your blade.
Do I see anything, or is it like
You do not.
just stab in the dark?
That this isn't any natural creature Sierra's ever encountered.
That's 16 with the full damage.
You stab your blade into the darkness and you feel no resistance. Pull your blade back and you just double check it, and there seems to be no markings on it.
think
I
Siota's. This is an actual creature Siota's ever encountered before, is it?
You don't know yet.
I do not know. Okay.
Lou is still mounted, so he just keeps bangs his longsword on his shield 3 times, gives out a roar that he heard in his mind.
Sound stopped for half a second before rushing faster.
Like that,
He was
he
rumbling all over the place.
yeah, he gives that roar that he heard in his mind out, and he says, "Come at me," and he's ready to fight.
Sioda, you are struck in awe of paladin bravery.
Siota's becoming more and more of a cat person, but she's never seen a cat.
You have seen a
Um,
wolf just now.
yeah, and she's decided she doesn't like it. um, she's knocking her short bow and staying 20 feet away from Lou, readying an action if possible to fire at that hand whenever it comes back up.
Hmm. Lou, are
Also,
you gonna attack the hole or are you gonna look into it?
I am going to ready an action, attack action. So if I see the hand coming at me again,
So you're just both staying there,
yeah,
standing there menacingly. Okay,
re-
you hear from the hole. Then all the rumbling stops. Just for a second. And hold your breath. You strain your ears to hear anything at all in the darkness of this tunnel system that you don't know what it is, but you have found yourselves in it anyway. As you focus, Lou, your muscles straining, you feel a little bit of sweat drip down your brow as you grip your sword and your shield, and even your wolf is constantly twitching its ears and its head from one side to another, trying to pinpoint a source of noise that it can focus on. And I don't have another map for this, but I should find one soon. Uh,
next session.
Suddenly, huh? No, yeah, next session definitely.
Yeah.
As the quiet grows, the wolf kind of like in anticipation. Suddenly, the hole in the ground explodes in a shower of dirt as the creature jumps out, and you see this. And you both have to
Nice.
make charisma saving throws.
Are we trying to impress this thing? Pet.
Charisma saving throws.
For what? Is that like a fear factor or something?
It's not fear.
I like how the little eyes on top of it's like scary eyes.
24.
Cool.
It has like a really
You
small, cute head on top of the really ugly.
feel you feel as you stare into the creature's eyes, the slitted eyes kind of rotate in their sockets, and the black ones kind of shine with a strange luster and a gloss similar to the glossy texture of the rest of the cave, as it just stares, and you both feel like something trying to latch onto you, but you're able to both push it away, and you can take your readied actions.
So mine was an attack. I will make an attack. That's 17 with full damage.
It's a 20 with 7 damage. If I'm still stealthed, I think I would have advantage on it.
Yes.
I don't know if you detect me or not.
You have advantage because you had a massive stealth check. Lou, you do not. You slash your sword forward, and it hits the creature between the black eyes on the top of its head, and the blade glances off.
So it doesn't hit.
17 misses. 17 misses.
Also, Sioda, I think, has the sneak attack because I'm flanking. I'm in like range of this creature.
She has advantage, and that's it.
I'm not a rogue.
Oh,
Oh,
right,
no.
right. You're druid.
She's sneakier than you, but she's not a rogue.
Yeah.
Can you fucking imagine if I was a fucking rogue? Oh my god.
Disgusting.
We are
Guys would have
end.
never found
Siota, what was your held action?
to fire an arrow at the creature.
Okay,
Whenever
make
it
your
popped
attack
up.
roll. Oh, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
20
you
and
did.
7. The 20 does hit. You managed to shoot right as it roars, and it's the set of mouths between its mandibles open up, and you managed to lodge an arrow right in its mouth, and it closes its mouth, and the arrow snaps off and falls to the ground, but it does take the damage as you manage to shoot it.
I seen a creature like this before or no?
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
You both recognize this creature as an Umber Hulk, and we're gonna roll initiative.
For next session.
Meow. Doing now. It's not over.
Toggle combat, whatever, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
There is
there is
no
no
active
active
combat
combat encounter in your currently
currently
viewed
scene.
scene.
Begin combat. Try it again.
Yeah. Now we are in.
Give fisticuffs.
Give me something good. Fuck! 8?
Sucketh.
Well-
Friendly reminder. This thing fills the entire tunnel that it's in.
Yeah, was
yeah.
Nintendo 5x8?
5x8. It fills it. Hey, look at the map. Look at you. Look how small you are. Look at this. Tell me that's small.
That's big.
Initiative starts and it moves first.
uh,
Like 5 foot wide by 8 feet tall.
Yeah, it barely fits the area.
DM, do
Like
I
consider like squeezing into a small space. Jeez.
do, can I like reach into my memory and see if I remember anything about Umber Hulks from my
Umber Hulks come with a massive tag for every scout and every den and every hold. Don't fight, because these fuckers hypnotize people. You got lucky the first time. Like to hypnotize their prey before incapacitating them, ripping their limbs off and hauling them off, probably for food and nesting. It takes its turn, and it approaches Lou and the wolf, who are right in front of it, and it makes slashing attacks with its massive claws. And just so that you are aware, I already shared the artwork, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're good. You don't need to see it again. As Lou suddenly lashes out its two massive claws towards you in like a crossing attack. What's your AC?
My AC, I believe, is 19. Yes, is 19.
First attack latches onto your shoulder, Pauldron, but you take no damage as the second attack comes in and, in a very familiar fashion that you don't enjoy remembering, slaps you in the face for 8 points of slashing damage, and then, in that same motion, grabs the back of your head and brings you in so it can attempt to bite you with its mandibles. Wow. 22 points of slashing damage on the crit.
So 22 and 8. 22 and 8 is 30.
Its turn ends as it kind of, you push it off of your body after it bit, and you can feel like puncture marks in your around your collarbone area where its mandibles dug in, piercing through the little bit of armor there. Umnia, it is your turn, and since you are starting your turn, within 30 feet of the Umber Hulk and you're able to see its eyes, either you have to remake the charisma save or you can avert your eyes to avoid the saving throw.
Is she in 10 feet of me? Because it's if she, yep, you have plus
He's within
3.
10 feet.
Yeah.
For the sake of this, like, you eventually stopped and she just kind of got a little bit closer and had her bow ready. Because she's stealthy as hell and you were just kind of... So, do you want to make the charisma save or do you want to avert your eyes?
Assume that I would be expected to have to look at it if I'm recalling information about it, which is what I would like to do.
Yes.
So
So make a
I
charisma
would.
saving throw at the start of your turn.
Roll
Roll it. Roll it.
a saving throw. I had to click the thing like 4 times. Okay.
You
You have
still succeed. You feel
Okay.
as its eyes try to draw you in, and you still resist it as you very stubbornly look the thing in the eyes.
And what am I able to remember? Do I know any of its weaknesses or anything like that?
You know whispers from the family that raised you, family of spiders. These things are evil. Well, they're not evil, but they're vicious fuckers. Tear apart just about anything. They don't care about anything except themselves, and they don't really have weaknesses. They're pretty close to being considered apex predators in the Underdark. They're very tough. They rove and they move around in colonies, and they are vicious. There's only one thing about them that is reliable information, and that is that they hate water. They refuse to get near it. They refuse to swim in it.
That's interesting. Not super duper helpful for me.
I will remind you, you are quite a ways away from the previous water source.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, because of the map, I was just thinking maybe I can dip my sword in the water. And then I
That would be
remembered
funny.
we are in the
I will.
fucking tunnel.
Well, I'm thinking Lou has
Right.
like a water bottle or whatever,
Water
water
bottle.
flask, but
Water flask. Yeah.
I have a water skin that I
yeah, water
took.
skin.
Yeah.
Um, she would just shoot the arrow at it. I would just hit it again. Um, am I still considered stealth at the moment?
When you attack it, your stealth advantage is gone.
Could I hide as a bonus action and then attack?
You can try. So the other thing about these creatures that as you look at it, you realize it has massive, like it has a lot of hairs all over its witness plates, and you remember spiders have this too. They don't hear things; they kind of sense vibrations with the hairs on their bodies. These things are kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've revealed yourself from your ridiculously high stealth check, it kind of looks over at you.
Your
Take
money.
a shot and then hide as a bonus action if I'm considered mildly obscured with my nature's mantle. Otherwise, I won't be able to do that.
You are considered mildly obscure because you're in darkness. Like, there's no dim light. You're in darkness. It's just these creatures have tremor sense.
19.
That hits. You shoot it in the mouth again as it roars at you, and it closes its mouth and breaks the arrow. And it looks very annoyed that you keep shooting it when it's talking.
Why does he keep digging in me in the dick? That was a very good episode. My turn?
Yes, it is your turn. At the start of your turn, are you gonna avert your eyes, or are you gonna make your charisma save?
If I avert my
Bonus
eyes,
action. As a
Oh,
bonus action, could I cast Healing Word on Lou?
you can, yes.
It's like
Hallelujah.
bonk.
5. Huh? That's good.
That's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's better than nothing. So it's 67 from 62. Uh, uh, if I avert my eyes, do I have to attack with disadvantage?
Yep.
So I will do my
If
charisma.
you avert your eyes, what happens is that you make attack rolls the disadvantage, and any spells and stuff that require you to see the target don't work because you need to see the target in order to use them.
Uh, does a smite count as that?
No, because the smite is attached to your attack roll, your weapon attack.
Okay. Uh,
You're basically swinging blind.
mm, I have to do a charisma or wisdom.
Charisma.
I will do my saving throw. That's 17.
17 succeeds. Again, that sensation of it, like similar to the creature in the lake. It's like trying to pull your mind to focus on those two spots above its larger eyes, and you're able to wrench your attention away as you make your attack roll as you cast haste on yourself and do your thing.
I will cast haste. When I cast haste, can I use that action to again cast, or is it just attack?
You have a haste action to make an attack roll, one attack roll. You have a bonus action, but you can't cast spells because you've already cast haste this turn.
Can I use my bonus action to empty my water skin on myself and my sword, or is it an action?
If that's what you would like to do, then yes, you most certainly can.
I will use my bonus action to do that. Then I will do one attack
You cover yourself with water.
and my sword.
14 misses. The water makes it glance off. The creature kind of, and it looks at you as you pour the water on yourself, and it does lurch back slightly. It kind of tilts its head. Then it charges in anyway. Okay, hold on. Let me. This boy's a massive. Here we go.
Yay!
Ignore the plant growths. It's the best one I could find. At the top of the round, you hear another in the earthen walls as another Umber Hulk comes crashing through the wall here. Will not take its turn yet. It will start next round.
Fortnite.
I have to restart the.
Do we re-roll our initiative, or do we just?
No, I'm going to use the previous ones. I just need to find the previous ones.
Mine was 8, Mishuda was
Oh.
11, and the Umber Hulk was 20.
Which is pretty damn funny.
Officially 22 now.
11
And 20.
and 20. Technically, this moves at the top of next round, so.
Oh, another 20.
Well, because it entered at the top of the round. Its turn won't happen until the top of next round, so yeah. And it makes another 2 clawing attacks. 12 misses. 24.
Hits.
24 to hit, 11 points of slashing damage as it grabs you by the back of your head again, pulls you in close for another kiss. 18 to hit.
Misses.
You're able to bring a hand up and you force back its mandibles as it attempts to bite you.
So 11 points of damage.
Yes. Omnia, it is your turn. Charisma saving throw.
Well, I would divert my eyes to look at the floor in
Okay.
front of it, and I'd like to cast Conjure Elemental with the water from Lou's flask, water skin.
Mhm.
So
Hey,
wait, how long is that cast? Shit.
That was a good call for me to just pour everything on myself.
Takes a minute to cast, and I'm full of crap. I'm just gonna shoot an arrow at it again because I suck.
you shoot an arrow. Do you want to move at all?
Oh shit!
Well, that's never a good really sign.
Yeah. Something
No,
is something is
actually,
going.
It has trimmer sense. I see through your lies.
You have tremor sense?
No,
I'm staying still, and
So-
I'm shooting at it, which means I need to actually do charisma.
I mean, okay.
You're sus.
Oh no. So if you're averting your eyes, you have disadvantage on the attack roll. Either you're averting your eyes or you're attacking it.
So yeah, I was going to cast a spell, but then I realized that wouldn't work. So I'm shooting at it. So that means I'm charisma
You're-
saving, and I rolled an 11 for it.
So no,
So
listen.
14.
I'm
If
sorry.
you avert your eyes, you can make an attack roll with disadvantage.
I would have made eye contact with it.
Okay. I love this. You failed.
14 is a
Body
fail.
your body feels weirdly sluggish. You kind of get pulled into these black eyes. It's kind of hypnotizing. You cannot take reactions until the start of your next turn. And on your turns, how long does this
Is this
last?
considered a charmed or effect?
This actually does not count as a charm. Hold on. Failed saving throw, the creature can't take reactions to start of its next turn. Rolls a d8 to determine what it does during that turn. On a 1 to 4, the creature. Oh, okay.
If it's a magical effect, I would also have advantage on it.
This does technically say Umber Hulk can magically force it to make a charisma save. So 12, and then Lou gives you +3, right?
Yes.
Barely succeed then. The DC is 15.
So you're good.
For now. Lou, it's your turn. These creatures are here. Do you want to run away?
Like the last time, the message didn't come through, so you're just saying it now.
Because you still hear a heck of a lot of sounds and rumbling coming from all around. Do you want to run away before you anger a colony of Umber Hulks?
I mean, last time we just barely survived. So, what do you think we should do, Zioda?
No,
I
no.
didn't realize the rumbling was still coming. I thought it was radiating from those.
No, I told you there's more than 4 of those rumbling after the main ones, so there's a lot boys coming.
You told Lou, but I get you.
I told you because you had the
Wait.
awesome perception check.
Can I grab Sioda and hold on to her?
As you turn, actually, your wolf would avert the gaze. It's a summoned mount. It's smart enough. You can attempt to run away with Sioda. Make an athletics check. Sioda, are you gonna let him pick you up?
Can I
Yeah.
shout
Wolf
out?
suddenly spins around and rushes towards you, and he
Can
kind
I-
of holds his arm down to pick you up.
Can I shout out to before I do that? Get ready to grab my hand. So
He just grab my hand. Suddenly turn around. The Umber Hulk will make an attack of opportunity as you start to leave. It misses actually. It barely catches the back of your robes as your wolf haste is massive speed. Make an athletics check to grab Sioda.
is it a straight athletics or
Yes.
advantage?
Incredible! You
24.
grab her and you immediately book it the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I will use my movement and dash every turn.
Make intelligence checks.
Intelligence.
As you start rushing through the tunnel systems and you start encountering other tunnels and you still hear rumbling all over the place as you are now in flight mode.
Intelligence. That's an intelligence save. Do you want?
Yeah. It's really just gonna be the same. Well,
Ability
you're
check?
not proficient in intelligence, so it would be the same.
Yeah, it's
Oh
the
wow,
same.
you have a +6 to saves. Incredible. Oh, he does.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Lou is like just kind of okay, immediately run away mode, flight, and Sioda is like
Give redirection. Your back signal.
you almost pass the tunnel that you went up, and Sioda's like no, and the wolf kind of skids along the ground and rushes back in the direction of the tunnel, and you actually see these creatures. They try to run, but obviously they're not nearly as fast. But they do, as they start running, they start like slamming their heavy feet and arms into the walls and the floor and the ceiling. And you start hearing rumbling from every direction possible. As you can imagine, you probably woke up the entire hive. Another intelligence check, so you start running your ass out of there.
Would I would I be able to cast the spell Conjure Animals and
You
send them off in
could.
a variety of directions?
That would be possible, yeah. 14 and 13. Okay. You head down a tunnel. Well, you go up that tunnel, and then you immediately kind of see the options, and you go down one of the tunnels. As you suddenly have another two more Umber Hulks suddenly crash through the ceiling around you and try to rush you as you manage to dash out of the way. Your wolf booking the hell out of there with literally its normal action to dodge and its haste action to dash. It's having a decent enough time escaping getting hit. You two. As you continue forward, make another intelligence check as you start coming across several branching tunnels, and you can start to see Umber Hulks in every direction, crushing through walls and rushing to get to you. Some of them getting quite close as you charge through this space with your mighty wolf steed.
That's 17.
You are able you you realize you took a wrong turn, but you find a tunnel, rush down it, and thankfully it connected back to the tunnel you were supposed to be in. So you're good. You can feel a sense of panic seeping in as these creatures are suddenly rushing in from every direction. Like
How
literally like a hive of ants.
how many are on our tail right now?
Too many to count because every time you turn a corner, more of them come through the walls.
Shit.
It's a hive.
So we're just booking it. Going
Yep,
back
you
to
make another
the.
couple turns and there's a couple moments of terror where you're like, oh, this is the wrong way. And you have to turn around with the wolf and rush it, and the Umber Hulks that crash through the walls are able to catch up and slash. A couple of attacks make it to the wolf, but it's still standing as it manages to dodge most of the hits, but it does get a couple large gashes along its body.
Stay with me, boy. Stay with me.
It does not have the energy to whine because it's too focused on getting oxygen and running the fuck out of there.
Am I still holding on to Sioda with one
You're still
hand?
holding on to Sioda. You're still holding on to her as you're just. Well, I'd imagine you help her get onto the wolf at some point as you rush out. Make one more intelligence check, both of you, as you start coming across a familiar intersection.
Intelligence check. Give me something good. 20 and 16.
The 20 is enough for Sioda to correct you, and you make a couple more turns, and you come to a spot that seems pretty familiar, and you can just barely start hearing the sound of rushing river water. And the wolf hears it too, and its ears perk up as it charges even faster, foregoing dodging and just dashing as fast as it can, taking a couple hits, and in the process, brought very, very low. You can feel through your magical connection that it's about to dissipate as it bum rushes the only possible hope for exit. And you all run through another tunnel, and you find yourselves coming out of a tunnel, and you can see the river right in front of you. And right as you exit that tunnel and you see the river, four massive Umber Hulks suddenly pop out in the ground, pop out from the ceiling in front of the river, land on the floor, and as they seem to currently block your way. We can reroll initiative now, since these are entirely new creatures, but you can still hear the sounds of the rest of the hive charging maniacally towards you.
14. Better.
Oh,
Not so
God.
much.
They all did better than you.
Yeah.
They all did it way better than you.
And I have a plus
Actually,
6 to my initiative.
let me double check something on the haste spell, because I think, if I remember correctly, haste. Advantage on dexterity. Okay, no, that's just saving throws. Never mind. So yes, unfortunately, Siotha, roll for initiative as you see the massive line of Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Massive line of Umber Hulks. And D1 immediately charges forward. Oh wait, hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And because that's technically your wolf is technically large, I think. And it will make an attack.
My wolf is medium.
It's medium, sorry. So it'll make an attack against you. It smells the bloodied wolf, but it's more focused on you. It will attack 26 to hit for 6 points of slashing damage. 27 to hit for 13 points of slashing damage. And 24 to hit on the bite for 12 points of slashing damage as these creatures immediately lay into you.
How much was the total?
19 plus 12. 31.
Yeah, thank you. 31. So 25.
Incredible.
I
This
am
one,
taking a fucking beating.
it's in close, and it actually swipes at Sioda this time. 18 to hit. What's your AC, Sioda?
Sioda.
Oh fuck, my mic was muted the whole time. 16.
16.
Yeah, 18 to hit for 10 points of slashing. 18 to hit for 12 points of slashing. And oh god. Massive bite attack. How much health do you have? Oh, you're fine. So 22 points of slashing from the claws, and then an additional 27 from the bite. It's a crit.
22 plus 27 would be 48. 49, right? I can't do math. Shit.
Yeah. These over here don't come any closer because the way is currently blocked, so they just kind of take positions on either side of the river and just stare at you menacingly, as you can still hear the rumblings coming from behind you.
Can we go through through
You
these
can
two?
make a strength check to attempt to shove these things out of your way.
Hold on. I have I have Sentinel. I think. Does that what did Sentinel do?
Prevents
Again?
other creatures from moving out of your attack of opportunity range, I thought.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
When a creature attacks an ally, you can use a reaction to make an attack against that creature.
So you could attack the thing that hit me, but it would use your reaction.
I mean, he gets it back at the start of his turn anyway, so
So yeah, I
net
will
gain.
do that. I will do that.
Would you like to, instead of making a weapon attack, would you like to shove it?
Can I do that?
You can. So
So
the
I'll
rules for
do
shoving
that.
a creature say that using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or push it away. You have to make an athletics check contested by its athletics or acrobatics. And if you win, you either push it, I think, 5 feet or knock it prone.
Uh, I have 16. I will just try to shove it with my shield.
It succeeds. You kind of bang in the face with the shield, and it kind of it like lurches back slightly as you hit it in the face, but it is still there. Start of your turn.
Again, I will try to shove it
Again,
again. Strength or athletic?
athletics check for you. Ooh,
13.
you push it. You have extra attack and haste attack, so you push it again. Still doesn't budge. This thing's like made of iron.
Hold on.
Second attack.
Mm-hmm. Bonus action, Shield of Fate.
Good call.
Miss. Hold on. What does Misty Step do? It just
Misty Step is a bonus action that teleports you 30 feet in the direction of your choice.
so instead of Shield of Fate, I will do that.
Teleports you.
Does teleport my state too?
Nope. Just you.
Just me. Okay
Well,
then.
actually, hold on. Oh, because the rules of the familiar. Anything that you cast that targets only you targets it as well. So yes, both you and the wolf can Misty Step, but not Zioda.
But not Yoda. So, yeah, Shield of Fate. My AC is now 21.
Hey!
Let me see
Have your
what
second attack.
else do I have. What else do
Your
I
second
have?
attack, and you have your haste attack.
My second attack. And I will shove it again.
Shove it again.
Shove it again.
Ooh. A roll for athletics. Incredible. Knocking it prone or knocking it 5 feet away?
Knock it. Can if I knock it prone, can we move out of the way?
You can attempt to jump over it with your wolf because it is 8 feet tall, not 8 feet wide.
And that attempt will be what, Dex for the wolf?
No, the wolf would just move. You knock it prone, and there's still the one over here. Do you want to attempt to knock that one prone too, or knock it away?
Yeah, why not?
Your thing.
Do your thing. Athletics. That's a
Ooh.
11.
Oh, you was that your second attack, or that was your haste attack?
That was my haste attack.
You both tied on both rolls.
So nothing happens.
You kind of enter a stalemate with it for a half second before you break away, and the creature kind of stumbles a little bit, but it regains its footing. Your wolf has movement. Do you want to attempt to jump over the Umber Hulk?
I will use all of my movement to try to get into the water.
Okay. The wolf technically has Shield of Faith too. So you use your wolf's hasted speed to jump over with Sioda in tow.
I have
This
80.
Umber Hulk makes an attack roll with disadvantage because you're leaving its melee opportunity attack. 14 misses. Wait, actually, hold on. The wolf. Its AC with Shield of Faith is 15. It actually misses. And
Shield
the
of
one
Fate
that's
was a good
standing,
choice.
and the one that's standing also uses a claw and also misses. You and the wolf just bounds into the water, dives in, and as it does, you hear all the Umber Hulks screeching at you in frustration and most likely territorial.
Before we dive, can Sioda cast water breathing?
Ash, you already did, and it lasts 24 hours, so you're good.
Okay, then. We just dive into the fucking water.
You dive into the fucking water, and you immediately. The wolf. You can't really run underwater, but the wolf does its best to move in the direction that you originally came from. All agree on this?
Yeah, totally.
Going back there.
Uh huh. You
Well,
dive back into the river.
oh,
Before your turn happened, he managed to shove a creature prone, and the wolf was able to use that difference in height to jump over it.
if we are heading back, do we remember exactly how it was like 600 feet or something, right, to get back to
It
that
was a,
main chamber?
it was a very long distance.
Okay.
It took you most of your 10 minutes. And normal walking is 30 feet. Dash walking is, dash movement is 60 feet. And, it takes your action to use control water. So 10 minutes, you covered so times 3, right? And then per round, per
We were
thing. So
using
divide
half
that by
speed.
minute. And then, no, when you were underwater and she was using control water.
Oh, yeah.
30, 60, 90. So that's 3 rounds. You kind of traveled like less than maybe around 1,000 feet to get through the first 10 minutes of control water. So it was a very long distance.
Yeah, as we get towards that main chamber again, I would cast control water to where like I could use it to help us get back up onto the shore. Until
Yes.
then I would just be walking there.
So after a few minutes of travel, you all eventually make your way of running. You all make your way back
Making my
to
way back.
the strange underwater river, and you land yourselves over here.
How
Near
much?
the entrance.
How much HP does my wolf have?
Like 3
Out of what?
out of like 11.
I just he starts drying himself up. I will pat him on the head and I say, "Good work, buddy. You earned yourself a big piece of meat. I will buy it when we get back to the city." And
Just it kind of lays down for a second. From
as
the
I
excitement and the blood.
pat his head, I will pump enough lay on hands on him to completely heal him, and that would be 8 points of lay on hands.
It's healed. Its
Uh,
wound's healed and it kind of stands itself up and shakes itself once more and gets ready to move.
and I will use the rest of 30. Actually, hold on. Sioda, how are you? You good? Can you heal yourself?
I'm fine.
Okay. Then I will use the rest of my lay on hands on myself. I add 38 points of damage back to myself.
Yay! So now what do you do as you make your way back to this strange underwater river after that very interesting adventure through 2 optional zones?
I I feel like we were supposed to find the not optional zone. We failed.
Fission mailed. What do you want to do? Fission mailed successfully. What do you want to do?
uh, get back to the city, I guess.
So, make your way back to that strange tunnel. Walk through it.
Watching out for the eyeballs, I assume.
If you didn't say anything, you wouldn't be.
I was about to say, oh,
Don't
Hmm.
don't think we forgot about
Yourself.
those shits.
Make stealth checks, both of you.
The can you do you have like pass without trace? Can you cast that?
I do and I will.
I was about to say, I thought you were tapped for once.
No, I've done Pass Without Trace twice
Doing
so
stealth
far,
check.
right? This would be
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
third,
that's true.
my last second level spell.
Yep, you're pretty much tapped now. You both make your way past that first eyeball. 10 minutes later, second eyeball. Stealth checks again.
Can we just reload the same thing? Yeah. 19 and 20.
19 and 30. You, again, that same one. Same fucking rock. You kind of. The eye opens, looks around, and looks more frantically because it's like this is the second time it's happened today. Or then it takes a lot longer too, and it just kind of closes slowly. It looks like it's squinting. It opens. It squints. Then it opens. Then you hear.
Must
It
have been the
closes
wind.
It closes again, and stays closed as you move through. Third set of stealth checks.
Lou just very, very quietly says shit under his breath. 21
You're
and
rolling for your wolf
37.
too.
You fucking.
You should be rolling for your wolf, Lou.
I'm putting them together.
Okay.
You said shit.
Very.
You gotta know what a disadvantage is. The eye slams open, and it looks at you directly, and you see the people kind of shrink. It just stares at you.
I just
feel like little
said
tremors
I
in the
said
tunnel.
shit very quietly.
Yes, but you said something. That's the point.
Yoda pinches her nose again.
And you feel the walls of the tunnel kind of shift a bit, and like feelers and tendrils of what look to be stone or maybe plant roots kind of appear, kind of
Hold on.
slowly move towards Lou.
I did 21. Why? What's going on?
No. You have disadvantage because you said something.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm so happy. And these about a dozen root-like feelers appear out of the walls and ceiling and floor and kind of move towards you, kind of slowly, before kind of stopping in front of you, and they just kind of undulate, stay there right in front, and you just see the massive eye just staring. Its pupil is like dilated as they're staring at you.
Not moving.
Its feelers get a little closer.
Not moving, but ready to fight.
Little closer, and you start to feel one of them kind of just barely touching like the whiskers of your beard, just a little bit, like a little flick.
I
of
don't have a
the
beard.
hair. You don't have a beard?
No.
Fucking dwarf with no beard. You feel it on your eyebrows, and it's kind of very close to your eye. It like moves and touches the hair, and the eyelashes.
Taking the dodge action.
You move, and it instantly.
No, not
shoots its
move.
tentacles.
Holding the dodge action.
You're holding the dodge action. Okay.
Yeah.
Gets so close that their tentacles are surrounding you on all sides, and Ciota, you just watch as he's getting tentacled very slowly.
Hey, man. 2 for 1 today. Hard.
Hardy hard.
Lots of hentai.
Lots of hentai.
I've seen enough anime to know where this is going.
Yeah. But I am a
So you
male.
to just like walk around him stealthily.
Yep.
And just walk past.
Who is surrounded by tentacles, and Ciota's just like, nope, right out of there. And there's actually the eye kind of shifts in Ciota's direction, where it doesn't seem to notice anything, but it does send a couple tendrils to kind of feel the area around before shifting back to Lou.
I'm just trying to see what's going on right now.
The tendrils slowly begin to. You don't feel it at first, but then you notice that they're starting to slowly wrap around your arms under your armpits and around your legs, or by your knees, like wrap around very slowly, and you start to feel that little pressure as it starts to grip a little more tightly.
Am I grappled?
You feel like you're about to be.
I move before I am grappled.
Take the dodge action.
Yep.
That's the one you held. And let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, what's your AC? Because haste is over.
My AC is. Hold on. Let me just check with the Shield of Fate. Because I wanna know how much does that stay.
Shield of Fate is
10 minutes.
yeah, so that's over too. Like you're done. Your
Yeah.
spells are out.
21.
Without, because the spells are over. So 19.
Yeah.
Which
Shield
you
of,
hit.
what was the AC? 21?
You're. Oh, that's with Shield of Faith.
No,
Your
no.
AC is only 19.
The attack.
Attack was a 19 to hit. Disadvantage. Hits.
It hits.
Grappled.
I'm grappled.
Did Ciota cast Grasping Vine if she sees this all happening, targeting Lou to pull him 20 feet towards the vine?
That'd be a good idea. So the creature, so you do notice, that as the creature wraps its tendrils around Lou, it starts to reel him in and pulls it closer, and suddenly the eyeball kind of moves upwards, like it's rolling backwards into something's head, and then it suddenly it's like that thin layer that looks like an eye falls away, and it reveals a massive toothy maw Because we love toothy maws in this bitch, and it's getting ready to eat Lou with a bite attack. It actually does make as part of its action now that I read it, and then the grasping vine will happen after. So let's see what happens, shall we?
Can I try to get
It
out
bites
of?
you right around your chest armor. It's not able to bite through it, but suddenly you feel a massive new tendril, thicker than the rest, wrap around your waist and start pulling you. Seoda, make a spell casting ability modifier.
Can I help it with just
No, you cannot.
trying to just break out of this?
You cannot. Seoda, roll a
Hey.
d20 and add your spell casting ability modifier.
Okay, so that would be plus
It's your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Yellow.
be sorry. I can't because it would be 8 plus what 4? I'm sorry.
So 12.
Okay.
Sadly, you're not able to break him free. But on Lou's turn, he does have advantage to pull himself free, make a athletics or acrobatics check to break the grapple.
The wisdom modifier is 4. I couldn't find the proficiency modifier on my character sheet.
Your proficiency bonus is +4.
They're
No,
both
it's at the
And I
top
14.
rolled
right.
a 4 and I have a plus 8 on wisdom. So that was
So you rolled a 4 and you have a +4 on wisdom modifier and then +4 from proficiency, so 12.
yes. Sorry.
Ooh, with the help of this grasping tendril, you are suddenly able to put your hands on either side of the strange dome, pop your head out of it, and push off so hard that you actually break a couple of the tendrils, and the creature instinctively retracts the rest as you manage to land on the floor, flop like a fish a little bit, and then you start moving away. As more tendrils start to form and slowly come after you.
I will call
Or
out
is it just
to.
running?
I will call out to Wildfire and just booking out of it. And
I mean, you could fight it if you wanted. It's not nearly as dangerous as a hive of Umberhulks, but still.
do we want to fight it right now?
Still one more.
Nope, not gonna fight it. Maybe later. Going for
Are you
now.
running or are you trying to stealth past the third one?
Uh, we are just going out of these guys. Like reach for now.
Yes, you managed to escape.
So
Although you realize the tendrils move for very, very long distance, and it's only because of how fast your wolf moves that you're able to escape it. Those tendrils have at least 50-foot reach before they stop chasing you.
so we are stealthing from the third one.
Yes.
But
Your stealth checks.
stealth
Pass without
checks.
trick.
Pass without
Oh wait,
trace.
is grasping vine concentration? It's concentration. You don't have pass without
I
trick.
broke it. I dropped it to do the grasping vine.
The creature's
And I'm out
third.
of this. I can't cast it again.
The third creature's eye flies open as you walk, stomping underneath it, and more tendrils come out as it kind of looks at you. Its eyes dilate, or they contract, and its
Can I
tendrils
book it?
out of the walls from the ceiling. If you would like to,
Hold on, let me just see how many
it-
spells do I have.
Because I rolled pretty low on that too. Is it just honed in on Lou right now?
it's on both of you. It sees you both. Like it's constantly flitting between the two of you and the wolf, and its tendrils are like pointing at each of you. It's
Can I
slowly-
use bonus action Shield of Fate? Then, kind of run away.
Yeah, I'll give you that bonus action, Shield of Faith. Go ahead. I think that's your last spell slot. I mean, fuck.
Nope. I have
Nope.
2 more first levels and 3 more second levels.
Incredible. The creature makes attacks with its tendrils.
Wait, is this in my grasping vine already?
Yeah, because it. Well, no, it was like a pretty far back.
Simmer, I would have been like I think 20 feet away from Lou. Between this one and the next one, I don't know how far away they were.
They're 10 minutes normal walking far away from each other.
Okay.
So 3,000 feet.
So we are running from
Yeah.
the third one.
You're running from the third one? Okay. It's going to attempt to attack. And these things have a lot of attacks. So, first attack. 20 on Lou hits. He's now grappled.
Doesn't. 21.
Oh,
Shield of Fate.
21. You managed to bat it away. Another 20 to hit on Lou. misses. 20 on Ciota, because 2 tentacles went for both of you. Ciota is now grappled. It'll make a 4th tendril attack, because it makes 4 attacks with those tendrils. Nat 20 hits Lou. They're both grappled, and it attempts to reel both you fuckers in. Make 1 bite attack against Ciota, because she seems less armored. 26 to hit Ciota.
Really gets me.
We are going to fucking die.
For 25 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty.
Comp.
Siota is out.
No, I'm fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
He's a druid. Okay, now we'll say, because Lou did use Shield of Faith, we'll say it is now Ciota's turn.
As my action, could I cast gaseous form on myself?
That is doable.
I would like to do
Gaseous
that.
form! She becomes a literal mist and instant auto breaks the grapple.
So from Lou's perspective, it just squeezed me, took a bite out of me, and then I just exploded into cloud,
Mist,
which is probably terrifying.
which
No!
slowly begins to move 10 feet at it per round.
Siota!
Lou, it is your turn as this creature is holding you and it's going to start reeling you in next round.
I will try to break away. Actually, hold on a second. Can I do channel divinity?
What you tell me?
What?
What's your channel divinity? Sorry.
Abjure enemy.
Do roll it.
Roll it.
As an action, you present your holy symbol. One creature within 60 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw unless it's immune to being frightened. Fiends and undead have disadvantage. On a failed save, it's frightened of you. Okay, so it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is it a fiend or undead?
Oh, wait, hold on. Is it only fiends? It just says a creature.
Fiends and undead have disadvantage. So
Yeah, but any other creature could make this.
yeah.
It's like a wisdom saving throw. DC of what? What's your spell save DC?
15.
15? Hold on, let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, it fails! It drops you out of sheer terror for some unknown reason, and you manage to move out. Your wolf moves with you.
Can I just say, I stare it down so hard, it just drops me.
As you glow, and there's like a spectral image. You don't see it, Lou. And there's a spectral image behind you of a massive dragon roaring silently.
Put me
It's
down.
kept your enemy. Cool. You managed to make your escape. Do you want to run away or do you want to fight it?
Nope. Running away.
All the 3 of you run away, and you finally make your ways back to Anferas.
Finally.
And that is where we're gonna end tonight's session because it's almost midnight for me.
Yeah, you are tired. And tonight
Thank you for playing.
was amazing. Especially with the fucking fish dude that was older than the
You
gods.
completed an optional area. Good job. 2 optional areas.
Do we get like a milestone or something?
You get participation award for surviving the Underdark.
You don't do milestones, do you?
No, I do like milestone with combat XP. So when I feel like you've done something worthy of getting a level up, you'll get a level up, like fighting the optional mini bosses, cadaver collectors. You beat them, which I didn't expect, so you got a level up.
Yeah. Did we beat them actually, or was it the help from the town guard?
The help was the reason you survived, but you did beat them.
Okay. So
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for playing. I hope you enjoyed.
thank you. See you next week. Bye.
Gotta enjoy the nonsense.
Night.
Alright.
Morning.
Happy birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm officially level 22. IRL.
Ooh.
Level
Oh, you're younger
22.
than me. Nice. Happy
Uh,
birthday.
I'm
It's
So
coming
20.
up in a
beautiful and
couple weeks.
spunky.
Hold on. I'm the oldest one here. I'm 24. Turning
It's okay.
25
Gross,
in
crusty.
The
Anyone
oldest
be
experience.
anyone being older than 24, so crusty and old and gross.
I
Am I right?
Whatever you say, kiddo.
am turning 25 in a couple of
Farmbar
months.
is like 15. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Taramba
I'm
is
the
not.
oldest in experience.
Yeah, Taramba is not even born yet.
How else would I play such eldritch abominations? I
He's
am one
astral projecting from the womb.
from the womb.
Ah.
Oh, mother, I bring news from the womb.
That was an amazing ad. Mother, I bring news from the womb. Moisha did a very good job of it.
Bringing news from the womb.
Yeah.
Being
All right.
cursed. Sounds like
Have a
something
good.
you'd hear from like a horror movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a good night. I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy the craziness. Enjoy the things you might have gotten along the way. And I'll see you next week.
Yeah, next week we are going
Bye.
to bring Mishida and fight those three fuckers.
Yeah.
Or just let Fiona be a cloud and she could just skip the entire dungeon.
Okay, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.